Mm. All right. Hey guys. Making sure everything is live. I can't see it on here on YouTube. Oh, cool. Saying we live. Hey, welcome. I got a lot of things going on. I hear myself playing out of 3 different channels. All right, just getting things settled. Making sure everything is gonna work. Next what to do. And gotta pause this. All right. Officially, welcome to the Psy TAi podcast. You have made it to the Thai side. You are awesome. You are special. Took a lot of effort. But we're gonna enjoy ourselves, combine our minds with our hearts, see what our gut mind is saying, connect all those 3 circles, and let whatever come out, just come on now. Oh, all right. There we go. Yes, we haven't been live in a while, but we back. Psy TAi podcast. Let me turn this off so I can hear myself. Sure, everything fine and dandy. Yes, yeah. But the Taiwan dreams, anything Q&A. I got the Discord open. I'll put the link to the Discord inside the chat. So if y'all want to come and talk, share stories, get together, powwow, just have the conversation like how I described, we can do just that. I'm gonna put this right here. Here go the link to the Discord. You can download on your computer, your phone, a lot of different devices. You can tie and join and talk and see articles and things like that. But yeah, and some good news to start off with. I've been putting a lot of work into the website. I want to show it off to y'all because we're coming a long way with all the pieces that's been gathered and experienced over the past couple years. Like getting into that art department, painting, music, lyrics, art, learning the code and things like that, just in conversations with people, putting it all together. It's starting to look very nice. All right, let me get this. All right, so I'll see if it's full screen. There we go. This is how it looks when you first get on the page. Bang bang. Got the 2 sacred mushrooms. Well, I guess it's 3. But look, Psy TAi podcast. You can see videos on there. Got some nice playlists built up. Need more Psy TAi? Then you click there. And it should take you to a page of just the Psy TAi podcast clips. Well, full episodes, glow more, things like that. And as well, go back. Just Tainow ship. The Just Tainow show has been the awesome meditation tool for me on Earth and just experiencing things. Because it was just when I was going out to the woods and I didn't know if anybody's going to listen. I didn't think about going live. I didn't run into True and them like that yet. So I was just uploading thoughts on the internet and hoping somebody was going to relate or something like that. Talking about feeling out of body, talking to trees. You know how it is. And now it's grown to talking about virtual reality experiences, AI, coding, the transcendental object at the end of time, as Terrence puts it, the magic mushroom, psychedelics, psychotropics, neurochemistry. It's a lot of cool things that the Psy TAi, the Just Tainow ship has brought, and we're on number 145. Now I turn myself to mushrooms nowadays. I'm just showing off the website if y'all just tuning in. Alright, and this is the TAi VR. This all on the website too. Yep, VR things, because VR is very special to me, because that's just the ultimate art symbolism to me of what's going on in life, how life is a virtual reality like experience. So for virtual reality to be created in this existence that I'm in, and me having the time to play it, and I actually want to create realms, I'm going to be creating. I've been watching videos on my spare time, and I have Blender and Unity, so I'm working with that and seeing what I can do, so we can literally create fucking worlds, bro, like we do when we in them other places, and how we created this. And the latest psychedelic news articles and experience with all of these things. So I want to keep this legit. Hey, you do web development coding. Hey, Zensmatic, welcome to the channel. Yeah, yep, I do it all. Jack of all trades. I may not be a master, but I dib and dabble. I get the job done. I get the job done for what's needed. And right here is the Just Tainow website, where I want to bring together a lot of different artists, engineers, writers. And this is why I got to this part on here. If you have a knack for writing and you want to help contribute to the Just Tainow website, and you like to talk about psychedelics, like see what's out there in the news and things, and you have your opinion on it, hey, send it this way, justtainow.com. I mean, justtainow@gmail.com, or join the Discord, hit me up, and we can link up and really make some waves. Even if it's just a personal story, like you don't want to come on the Psy TAi podcast and talk live like you can on a Discord or chat in the Discord, you can submit your story to the website, and I will do what I gotta do to make sure that it's up there so that people can relate, experience, think about it, tie on it, do whatever they do. But the conversations I see is really helping people a long way. Hey King Oz, hey King Oz, this is another artist that I was talking about. Hey, I'm on the website, showing off the website. I've been putting a lot of work in, and right now I'm talking about people that if y'all want to write articles about anything related to mental health, psychedelics, empowering, uplifting people, then hey, let's get these articles up on the website and have a home of our own. These articles right here I took from other websites. I just linked it to it, so no copyright, but still talking about psychedelics and things like that, just to get an idea, the idea and the vision of what I want. But I want it to be artwork. You don't have to be no professional and things like that. But if you are in college, hey, let's still link up. Oh yeah, I'm putting in the work. It's a new thing I just ran across too. I'm almost there. This is the Just Laugh Now show, because you know memes rule the world. This is in the underground right now, but once the news start trying to use memes, you know how much a powerful tool it is for getting the minds of people. So this is the Just Laugh Now show, if y'all didn't know. That's coming out. Taimations, find that there. Research, experiences, like I said, you got articles and things like that, put them up there. Instagram life. Yo, I took this picture of a bee yesterday. It was pretty sweet. It was on my Mary J. And this was a cool filter I found when I was on TikTok. You can put your art on it. Oh, I'm not getting copyrighted. Look, that's pretty cool. So I'm all about the art nowadays. I'm way more about the art. Here go the Just Tainow story. Got those on there. And if you click on it, go to link, and take you to the Just Tainow store and stuff like that. But yeah, y'all can figure it out on your own time. I don't want to really advertise right now. Hey. But that's it. This the flower of Thai. And then you got the enter the Thai-ness, the Just Tai, your inner mush, tying with Sora. I thought it was one more. And here goes a cool one. Exile 13. He ties it. You seen him, you heard him on the Psy TAi podcast multiple times, dropping knowledge bombs here and there, all the poetry. But here go his latest experiment with the Orgnite pyramids. I gotta change for Exile 13, but yeah, it's wall-laced. He calls them wall-laced Orgnite pyramids. He got the green, the purple, and the gold, or I say like the sand. And it's all on the site. Here go the little commercial I made. Wow. So if you want that, email at 10roosevelt@gmail.com. Yeah, I got it on loop. I got blues, and he handmade all of these by himself. It's actually, I said, you pluck these from another galaxy, like from another dimension, straight up. Anyway, I lost the chat. But y'all can still see me, so I'm gonna keep talking. There we go. Hey, look at this one. This is one of my favorite ones right here. This one right here, the green glow. Like, what? That's a whole world. I was like, I see lakes and I see purple skies. I'm definitely going to order one for the holiday season myself. I'll probably order one for my mom too. She's starting to get into a lot of interesting things and letting me know as she goes across them. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, Mom. Glad you opening up your mind, or your mind is opening up itself. Like, what is control? But yeah, that's the Just Tainow website. Because what I want is for artists to come together. I want to create a hub for artists, and of any, like, y'all know how it is in the trippy field. Hold on, let me get this away so I'm not looking at a bunch of things while I'm trying to talk. All right, and get this back over here. Bang, bang. All right, yes, the chat box works. But yes, I want to get a lot of artists that's really near and dear to their own timeless and the way that it comes out to them. Right? You draw, digital art, you talk, you make videos, you make music, anything. I want to have a home for that. Well, we have a home for that, and I want to grow. So this is the calling card that's put out there to wherever you are, and we can make some awesome. We can make moves. We can make moves because we create realities. Life imitates art. And every time I go to sleep, I'm creating something that I'm consciously aware of. And it's correlating to here. I'm consciously being aware of creating things here, and being consciously aware when I'm not creating things. I'm going with other flows, which is still cool. It's a balance to everything. It's a balance to everything. But creation is, we only can create who we are. Like whatever we do, like whatever we doing in the other realms, when we create things, it recreate is here. Like our mentality. So we have these beautiful minds that I want us to put it to use before so we get depressed or some catastrophe happen or something, and we like, oh man, I gotta sign up for this, and I know they're gonna use me, or not really care about my individuality, but just want me to create off of a certain standard and stuff like that. I don't want that to that don't always have to be the case. When we had the tools to get together to display ourselves in the way that we wish to be displayed and make a living off of it, live off of it, Like, we don't have to work ourselves slave work in order to make chump change, but we can dream, as we literally do all the time, and dream and create art, and then people go in that reality so much that they're like, you just get the money just come like that. It just is what it is. Like, people can put Mickey Mouse on something and it will sell. You can bootleg Mickey Mouse and it will sell because of how much work and character they put into that symbolism and spirit and things like that, and spell work, and all of that mastery of imagination. So we can do that with ourselves. And another idea I have for this on the growing tip is for VR. I wish that it's in the works. So how they have the Mona Lisa and all these old Renaissance old heads, they got they paintings recreated inside of VR environments, and having people be able to go through them in museums when they put on their goggles and things like that. So I want to create a world, an event where a collection of artists can come together and have their art shown virtually in a VR world, and then host events like probably twice a month or however popular it get. Have people pay a little fee to go to the fee go to the artist that created the art that you will be viewing, but it'd be like a one-time experience unless you pay to get in again, because you're like, you got to be there looking around. You guys like, oh wow, and have different characters walking around and stuff, and you can literally experience somebody's art straight from your bedroom. And somebody that you would have never thought of, because we have a lot of homegrown talent. But it's always just about the platform and who you know. Platform and who you know, and what you're working with. And miracles going to happen. Faith is going to change reality. One more thing, I'm smoking a lot. That I want to tie on. I was tying on this before, is dreams. But now it's coming to me why the mastery of going to other realities and experiencing them is so beneficial to the heart of the person, or to the soul or spirit of the person, whatever your tie spin is on it. And I was seeing it. It's like, yeah, it's just like that. Imagine just feeling trapped all your life, and then finally going somewhere else and be like, oh yeah, I knew I can do stuff like this, or just being happy and excited that you could do things like that. And then people get depressed even with psychedelic trips because they experience this thing I'm talking about, and then they come back and be like, oh, I'm here in this reality, I can't do nothing. But yet they are. But yet they are creating everything. Yeah, it's true. What y'all said, King Eyes, and oh, this blurry on this screen, and Zenmatic. Thanks. They feel like they trapped in this reality and can't make change, and like, oh man, I was able to do this when I was over there, and I was able to change things around, or I was told about the oneness of the power, and then oh man, I got back here and I was back in reality. Oh fuck, I'm trapped. When really that's the thing about psychedelics, as opposed to as taking psychedelics without really developing a spiritual idea of yourself. You get a lot of real lost in the sauce, and that's good, because we're going to keep on changing our minds. But what I mean by spirituality is an individual idea of what's going on in your world. Because when we dream and things like that and go into these realities, I'm trying to put together the story. I didn't really think about shit I was going to say. I'm just going off the riff. But but yeah, going out of the body and having that experience and knowing that you're able to do that in whatever reality that you find yourself in, even here, I think is a huge gift. is a huge innate gift, an innate setting that's in us that's turned off based off of our belief patterns and the things that we tell ourselves and the things that people tell us that we choose to believe and follow, and the things that we just grew up in because we was taught certain programs because it was for the better good. And the thing about it, for the moment, it was for the better good because that's what was keeping the person that taught it to you so-called sane, or that's the reality they created. So it's really trippy. It's really trippy. That's why I'm like, I never like to get caught in anybody's sauce. Hey, did I hear something on the Discord? Hey, King guys. Hey. Hey, how's it been? Or how's it going? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to talk it out. Let y'all know what's happening. Yeah, yep, multiple revenues of income, thought processing, personalities. I'm trying to balance all of them out. Mm-hmm. Because they wasn't listening. We made the videos before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. You think it is gonna crash? Uh-huh. I hear what you're saying. I was thinking that, or that, well, and that people can be wasting their time just getting into cryptocurrency right now too, because how much millionaires it already is off of it, and how people already got it's already a system set up in place, so people just getting into it thinking they about to do something is like just like with money. You think you got something, but it ain't, you don't got how much you think you got. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's the real thought. That's why I said for people just getting into cryptocurrency, the people that been into it, they know ways of getting your stuff like that. So it's going to take a huge knowledge base to make it work, because it can go the opposite way too. I was talking to Exile, and he was talking about things going alt or something like that, and he was saying how the currency is getting deplenished, and that it probably going to do the opposite thing and people go and move into cryptocurrency. But since nobody got it, is like people still going to be fucked over because there's already billionaires in it. That's why we're working now. I think hey, she speaks to snakes. You in the Discord? Hey, yeah, I can hear you a little bit. You probably gotta fix it up. Yeah, welcome when you get it on. Yeah, I'm just... Man, I just said that this morning. I was going to buy around driving my sister-in-law to the school, and I was looking at the leaves saying, man, I remember when I used to rake leaves for money and I shovel snow for money. Hey, you well? Yep. Now you can freelance. Yep, freelancing the seasons that pop up. My mom been trying to do that. That's how I was raised. I was raised in a house daycare. It was like around the corner. My mom was at work. I was in there when I was 6 months till I was 4 years old. Right on. No, we talk to the space. No telling where we popping up at. Hey, you well? Hey, it's been a minute, bro. You said, you asked me, did you watch Jingle Jaggle? Yeah, I watched that. That movie was awesome. Did you see that, King Guys? It was on Netflix. It's a Black Christmas movie where they actually put some spirit into it. Some real, like, knowledge, spirit, heart. Had the music going on. Had the sadness, the happiness, the magic. And it was all black people. They gonna say, yeah, they sat down and ate breakfast. I'll say ate breakfast and ate dinner. He said it was great. Yeah, I'm getting with that. Blue, blue, blue. Yeah, There we go. I can hear you. And just traveling. Hey, what you been up to? Double T. I was trying to make an acronym for your name. What's going on, Snakes? Can't hear the other people. I did not know they couldn't hear y'all. There you go.
Y'all don't
My
hear
bad,
them?
guys.
I'm not crazy.
I got better tech than that. Next time, be like, hey, I can't hear the people. I worked hard to get to the point where y'all can hear other people. Here we are.
There we go. But yeah, man, that's dope. So from your self reflecting, what do you think your next step is?
Well, what I've been working on, and obviously building off of your work, Oz, is um, just going through what I experienced in my visions, and then researching that from the mental
Dig
to
it,
or the spiritual to the physical to find those connections.
dig it,
Like
dig it.
was really good. So right now, the most recent thing is that I had a while ago I did like 15 grams, and I was with this big dragon, and she was telling me that she was the mother creator. And
Mm,
she what she wanted to do was she wanted to enjoy creation, right? Evolve, right? So if she's the creator of all, and she's made these creations, and she is in all her creations, well, how can she interact with each other, like, but without, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you made everything and you are everything, like, how do you talk to yourself? How do you have a good time? How do you evolve when you know already the next move? You know, it's a little difficult. It gets boring. So
right.
she's like, I cut off separation from me to all of creation. And
Mm-hmm.
what that did was allow me to be a part of everybody and gave them individuation, so that way they could evolve and I can work with them and I can speak with them, but they don't know that they're me,
Right,
So
right.
you're on this fucking mission. So then, like, I'm like, okay, well, that's great. This is what I've been presented, and you got the flora, you got the fauna. Well, what is
Mm-hmm.
all of this about? So it's like breaking my head. So I started researching it, and there's a creation story from like Babylonian times, and the goddess's name was Tiamat.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And
That
I'm
was a
like, oh,
dragon.
the dragon, a mother dragon, the
Yeah.
first deity. He was destroyed by Marduk, and like, you know what I mean? And then the story unfolds from there. You get the tablets, you know what I mean? Like that, Judeo Christianity based everything off of. It's
Leads
just
you
like
back on the
mind blowing,
path
like,
again.
yo,
Like this some real shit though.
like original.
For real.
And
Yeah, that's
and
go
then there's
ahead.
another goddess in very similar story in Sumeria as well. Her name is
Mm-hmm.
a little different, but so like just building with that piece and doing that
That's
little by
dope.
little. Yeah, and then
For
you gotta break
real.
that down next. What's next with that? What's that mean on a spiritual level? What does that
Right,
mean
right.
so cool, because
That's
everything,
fire.
be mythological. Yeah. But
Yo, the dragon.
Yo,
oh,
look, but
I
my,
didn't
my
even
lady
her
took a
the
little
fucking
trip
eyeball.
and she was the fucking dragon. So she was a water serpent. She just couldn't see herself. She seen her body and she was in the water or some shit. She told me I couldn't. I was tripping myself. So and
Mm-hmm.
she said she looked like a snake. Her body looked like a snake. She was in the water, but she couldn't see herself. I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And she
And
just,
that's
That's
the
you know,
other
cool.
story.
she
The
speaks to
other story
snakes.
of the
Just broke
water
down what she
serpent.
broke down. So it just tied in.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so that's the Babylonian version, Tiamat, but then the Sumerians have a similar story, and it's and that woman is the serpent in the water.
Mm-hmm.
This is the dragon.
Oh yeah, I told her. She's like, "Oh, that's crazy, babe." I'm like, "Yeah,
That's
yeah."
so.
She ain't took a trip since, but yeah, yeah.
Saw so much, had to forget so much. Like,
Yeah, she's like, "That's
hey,
enough for
hey,
now."
I gotta play this game, man. I gotta play
You
this
know,
game.
I'm looking at my little babies right now. My little shrooms look so pretty.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
that's
They
you got
halfway
some.
gone now, though. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I. Well, shit,
But
Discord.
yeah,
Let me.
like you well was saying, all these stories to wrap it up, it's cool talking about the mind and how the mushrooms, how they show us our mind in these allegories and original stories, and then they tie back to other people ancient stories, and then it's like, man, everything is going on at the same time, and we really in this thing. And we go to different
Mm-hmm.
places. We like got the controller or however we manifest it, and we just like, hey, I'm gonna go act out this role of Tai in this realm. I'm gonna act out the role of She Speaks for Snakes. I'm gonna act out the role of
Mm-hmm.
King Oz. I'm gonna be such a good of an actor, you ain't even gonna know I'm acting.
That's the cold part. It's like, I'm gonna fuck with myself, but I'm gonna make sure I don't know. Like, yo, that was a good conversation I just had with you. Like, nigga, if only you knew who you was talking to.
Yo, dead ass. Like yo, I'm doing wasting my time acting like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So you can
That's just
evolve the species as a whole. She broke it all down. She showed me like humans, and then she showed me like how everything plays into each other, and like on the micro, then onto the macro, then as the huge, and further, and like
right, right.
the factual understanding. Fucking dope. I even had a vision recently because I've been microdosing. Like big
Mm-hmm.
doses are great, blow your
I
mind, but
love
I've really been
microdosing. I love it.
word. Listen, just
Talk about it.
amazing. Talking about it, yo, I'm doing the 30 days. I started with the Paul Stamets stack. Have you guys done
Uh-huh.
that?
The niacin
So
and the
yeah,
lion's mane.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
How'd it go?
yeah, it's going good so far. I'm realizing that like, what my levels are because obviously he's got different formulas and I tend to do more. I tend to overdo. It's like what the ego in me. I'm like, oh, I'll do 30, and then it's like, no, we're trying to do micro, so I do one, and then I'm like, oh, I'll do fucking two, and then I'm like, yo, Jack, what are you doing? Calm down, like 0.50. You know what I'm saying? Point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then even that was like too much. Like, yo, I'm not trying to go into that state, you know? But yo, so dope. I've kind of been like down and depressed, kind of just like working through the murk. I feel like everything is heavy and like
It be
there's some
like
shit
that
going on.
sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm like,
It
yo, I need
definitely
to
do be
break
like
through
that.
some. Especially with all this COVID shit, and I don't want to put energy to like all of this negative. I'm like trying to build up. Like you're not gonna take me down. So I
That's
haven't
it.
done it every day. I've done it like 2-3 days. Then I took a break for 2 days, and then I did it 2 days. Then I took a break, and then I did it one day, and I took a break. And so tomorrow.
Right, right.
And the niacin's dope though. It gave me like a flush through my body. I was mad red. That was the first two
Niacin the
times.
pills.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
made
it's
my ears
Man,
itch
fuck.
before.
Hey, listen, cuz when I was on yeah, right. When I was on house arrest and I was blowing, that niacin shit make you itch and shit. Ah, fuck that. Nah, fuck
like,
niacin. I hate niacin.
did you say
I'm
blow?
trying to take
Oh my
less or
lord! Oh
something.
my lord!
Man, straight up, I was
Yeah,
smoking
yeah.
every day, and I knew my shit. I would get piss tested. Eventually, they'd call my color, and my lady at the time was like, "Take some niacin, you be straight. It'll flush you out. Drink some water." Took that shit
Yeah,
and got itchy and hot and shit. And I'm like, no, I'm having some type of allergic reaction.
You guys control your dosage.
Man,
You trying to flush that shit out.
I'm listening to you talk about shrooms and nice and shit. I'm like, how does that even work?
so this is how it went. This is the deal. So Paul Stamets gave this like this theory that um the niacin, because it flushes out, it opens all of your veins. It can push the lion's mane and the salivan through faster and cross the
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
blood-brain barrier faster as well.
Oh,
So it's
okay,
like,
okay.
how can you get this? Because the lion's mane is for your brain and for your nervous system too. So it's like, how can we get this
Right,
faster
right.
into the system? and make sure it reaches where it needs to reach to rebuild neurons and whatnot. So, I mean, for me personally, this shit is extremely working. Like, I'm like,
Okay,
woo. And
okay.
then even on my days off, I'm still good. I'm like, wow, I feel fucking amazing. Like, getting shit done. I'm not getting stuck in this little mind warp where, like, I'm
Yes.
all, you know what I'm saying, caught up.
Hmm.
Uh-huh. That was
So,
my
I'm loving the
experience.
micro.
That's cool. It's like you just had a good day.
Yeah,
Like today was a good day.
exactly.
See, that's why I like
Yeah.
microdosing. Every
I,
every time I microdosing, I feel that everything is okay. I feel good. My skin feel good. That's what I like the most. Like when I take my microdoses, I rub my head a lot for some reason because my hair feels so nice. Every
what you
time. That's
guys
how my
dose
lady
for
know I'm
micro?
on. Huh?
How much do you guys dose when you take a micro? Because that's kind of where I'm trying to. Because I can still go deep in like a point 0.5. I went from a point 0.5 to a 0.25. Because I'm like, damn, I'm like still. I can go there, kind of. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. I wonder if it's like once you just start eating, even just a tiny bit, it opens the door. Wow. You know what I'm
Immediately.
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what do you guys usually do for micros?
I do
Sorry.
what you just said, like point 0.25, point 0.5. Or
Okay.
sometimes
Okay.
I
Okay.
just take a stem and I don't measure. I just say I'm just gonna do one stem. Just stick to one stem and I put the rest away.
I'm at like 0.5 to 0.78 or point 0.8, 0.7, point 0.8. In between that,
Okay.
I don't go to a gram though.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll
And
be
the
feeling
way,
straight as fuck. I'll be feeling so
yeah, I was about to
cool.
ask you.
Like I'll be real nice to everybody. And that's it. Like I get a little bit of like, you know, like the walls or something or pictures is waving and shit. But nothing
Mm-hmm.
nothing extreme. I'll just be straight. I'll be
You
happy.
well
Like
pointed
that's
out.
when you want to talk to me. When I'm microdosing is
When
when
you
you
want
want to talk to me.
it.
Cause now I'm nice. If you say something dumb, I won't even trip or nothing. Just it's cool.
I know what you mean,
Clear.
bro.
Everything is real clear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The sarcastic voice is more jokeful, or like more like, well,
Right,
I'm paying
right.
attention to something else right now. Like,
Like before, I'd stop the conversation. Like that was stupid as fuck. But if I'm microdosing, it's like, oh, that's cool.
I play
That's
along.
cool.
Yeah, open more. You're like, we ain't gonna hurt their feelings, all right?
That's it.
Mm.
Yeah, because I'm so happy. I want everything to be cool. So if that
Yeah.
make you happy, I'm happy as fuck.
Yeah, guess what?
Hey, man.
Joel pointed out, he said just the smell opens doors. I've been microdosing for like a good year now. And the things that I say and think about, like you
That's a
said, the
good point,
doors
you will.
opening up, it's just like so intense. And the last show I made, I was talking about the show I was watching called Evil. It's on Netflix, and it's starring a black guy. And at the end of it, he take mushrooms and stuff like that. And I was like,
Hmm.
"Yo, this is my show." But on the podcast, I was talking about I would just tap the. I don't like dressing it up like this, but yeah, I was tapped in and like just letting loose, just letting the words come out without really thinking about it. And I was said you could just smell the mushrooms and be on it. You could just smell the DMT and be on it. You can. My friend was just telling me he was on alcohol. He would want the alcohol, and as soon as he got the bottle, he's like, "Oh, I feel drunk already." And how amazing the mind is, and how malleable it is once it
This
has that
boy. I'll be right
experience under
back.
his belt. All right. And how, when it has the experience under the belt, and then on that later that day on the show, the guy, it was the show, the one before the season finale. He didn't even take the mushroom. He just smelled it, and then he was like, "Whoa!" and had a vision. I was like, "I just said that earlier." So the synchronicities is
No,
go next level.
that's
It's like you creating all of this, like the remembering things is wild.
yeah, it's so fucking mind blowing and exciting when that shit happens. No, I'm dead.
It's like,
I'd be like, yo, every day I'd be like, yo, I've been like hustling on the Hebrew alphabet. You know what I'm saying? For whatever, yo, I'm just like highly attracted to it, and I just like eat it up. You know what I'm saying?
I've been into
It's
it.
like the best candy in the world, huh?
Mm-hmm. I said I was into that for a
And
minute.
the Hebrew alphabet, right? So I'm listening
Uh
to this
huh.
dude from Marrow Foundation, And it's like, yo, some of the things he's been saying, like he's just hitting all of them. Like I was just talking about the Taurus field, and it's like, yo, he's going through it, hitting all of those pieces. Like homie was just saying, like it's almost like you call it out, you know. And I did fucking a big ghost, and I was laughing because I was like, yo, they were telling me like, yo, it's a trick. You know what I'm saying? The plants were like, yo, are you there yet? Are you woke yet? Are you getting it yet? Like, yo, you don't need the medicine. It's a trick. It's a tool. You don't need this tool. It's just to trick the subconscious. So once you can figure out how to just cross over, just fucking do it on self, you know?
Yeah.
That's the next level. Hey, Exile 13.
Yo. I'm doing well. How are y'all?
Hey, we about to get into powers and natural abilities.
That's right. It's in us. And
abound into it. You got some experiences with that?
No, I'm just agreeing with what you guys are saying.
Mm-hmm. Because you just in it, right? Can't talk about it. You'll ruin the spell.
well, everything is a tool to get us there. Your breath, your heartbeat, your eyes, your cognition, your perception, blue, red, green, everything can be used. Anything can be used.
That's the next level, right? Because that's the experience when you're on psychedelics. And that's why I get confusing when I hear people that had experiences, or not confusing now, but I see the levels of that the mind takes in the story with experiences. Because you could have an experience and still not believe, or still block it out with thoughts like, oh, that didn't just happen. Or, oh, well, I'm going to explain this away like this. And then if something else happened, and
that happens a lot.
So, like, the more you open yourself up, you, like you said, Exile, you see everything. You look around, start talking to you. That's why I've been, like, when I'm in the show right now, I'm like, I'm in the show. Because as soon as I focus on something else, it's talking to me.
What's that shit? ADHD and
shit? And that's been awesome though, because I used to try to shoot that away and be like, hey, you gotta be logical. You gotta, like, I come from a scientific kind of mind and way of thinking. And it was like, man, no, like atheists, like, no, it's logical. If you can't see it, you can't believe it, can't work it out and repeat the results, then it ain't possible. And now I'm like, wait, that's all bullshit, because I'm literally having experiences where that blow that out the water, where I'm creating realities and birthing things up into existence. And then you hear that here is like, I'm still doing that when you reminded of the power of words, the power of speech, the power of body language, moving your arms, the way we move our heads, look, our statue, how we stand, fold our arms. All of that is like ultimate reminders of what we're doing, because it can be all blocked away and be like, what is that even worth it for? Like, why would you even get into all of that spirituality crap? And then you see that you are spiritual just being who you are. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild, because it get levels with religion and all that stuff. But people gonna take what they need to.
That's a good point, UL. Oh, go ahead.
What
I
did
was
you
just
say?
pointing out what UL. He said logic can be blind to what lies beyond the scenes.
Yeah, truth.
That's a good point, UL. Go ahead, XL. I was just, when I be on live, I'll be trying to address the chat and shit.
The occult, the hidden. We always strive for that. That'd be like the adversarial nature to to life. There's always an adversary, something to that is not immediately known. That's part of the hide and seek, the fruitful nature of, be fruitful and multiply. Well, you don't necessarily know what's gonna come next. You never know what the tide may bring.
Right.
Hey, Water
But
Walker.
I heard She Speaks said something. She gone.
Hey,
I think she said to repeat what you all said.
Oh, okay. She still there?
Yeah, I was like trying to pop my Bluetooth in, and then I lost out.
But no, UL said logic can be blind to what lies beyond the scenes.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Logic gotta go, yo.
And that's the reason I play it, because that's something I'm still working on. Like, I'm a logical motherfucker. I can't help it. I can't help it, but I ain't helped it yet.
Well, on one side, I agree with that, but on the
You know
other
what I'm
side, I
saying?
think the minds, the ultimate, the creators. If we're
Motherfucker,
gonna
we keep
put the
going now.
creator in a box, if we're gonna put, creation, all of creation, it's just a word, right? But if we're gonna theorize this kind of thing, that
Right.
mind has logic. I would say that the beginning. Oh, somebody said it on True's Live the other day. Like, talked to the Nephilim, and the Nephilim told them that it first started as a vibration, then a pulse, and then things came happen. Well, there is a kind of structure. There is
Oh yeah,
an order, and we can call that
I'm with you.
logic, or you know,
God damn.
by any other word, a rose is still gonna smell as sweet, right? So I would say,
What are
like,
we talking about?
octaves. We can see how in nature that we play music and the same notes appear at different scales at higher and lower frequencies.
Yeah.
So we can only see in a certain band of light, right? We can only feel in a certain frequency of vibration, and everything is really vibration. But yeah, we're kind of like, I would say, limited in a way, in a fashion, to see in a spectra, in a fractal part. I want to say piece of the pie of what's, if we're going to put the whole creator in a pie, we're just seeing a piece of this, but we are a fractal nature of it. So that logic, that structure, that all the things that lie within the whole pie exist within us too. And it's kind of incomprehensible
hologram.
sometimes.
Like what the dragon was telling me, but the exile wasn't here for that. Yep.
Yeah, the dragon created you want to tell them?
That we was just building on it from a trip that I had, a journey or whatever, and I met a goddess or a deity, and she was telling me, like, she was pretty much, I think she was Tiamat, but she was saying that, she's the creator, the first deities and everything came from her, like, but all are still her. So it's like, everything came from her, but she shut down the knowledge to know that she was everything in order to evolve and for us to be individuals. So it's like that fractal piece that you're just explaining. Same thing.
Yeah, if you come in with the cheat codes, come in with the game shark, it could be wrecking shot. Like, some people got some of the different talents or abilities. Like, you might be able to hear things or feel things or sense things that other people may not, and that's for you.
Yeah, I was just thinking, y'all was talking about dragons and individuality and breaking out into separation, but still the same. I literally drew something on acid. I don't have it around me now, like 5 years ago, because I was learning that you can just doodle and, like, just let your imagination flow and just look at the paper later. But I had drew, it was like a hand kind of thing, but I made it like a dragon that was coming out of the water. And it had like 5 heads and something like that. But in my head, I was saying, that's a trick. I was saying, that's a trick, because it's really just one. And I drew like this eye or something at the bottom.
So when I was with, well, I'm gonna keep calling her because I'm pretty sure it was her. When I was with her, all I seen was the eye. But then when I was researching her, it said that she had one head. But then when she went into, like, her destructive nature, when they killed her husband or whatever, she grew 5 heads.
The sink is real. The sink is real.
The lottery. That's number. All I need.
I don't speak the king's English. Y'all will learn that. But no, yeah, that's the thing. Individuality is splitting out, still being your own. And the senses, that's what I want to talk about. The senses and getting into the hub is like the X-Men. Like, everybody got their own thing they tap into. And it is like a cheat code that's soon going to be like the regular reality. Like, soon they going to like in GTA, how it used to be hard to put in cheat codes, and now they have most of those things readily available. Like, all right, we know y'all want these things. Like, create a new reality for ourselves, and that's what I want us to do as artists, and coming in all of these things so that we can come back. Hold on. Yeah, public education is a failure, and I didn't go to public school. Yeah, and I'm just responding to what H7 Polo was saying, talking about English and all this other stuff. But did you know King James and Shakespeare wrote the Bible together? Talking about realities and creating things that go together. And I just found out that King James had a book called on demonology before he came out with the King James Bible, and that's where Macbeth came out with. I mean, that's where Shakespeare got his inspiration from, Macbeth. So I was like, I'm going on another topic now, but I was tying on how King James actually knew about these things that we tie on, like about demons. Because when I think about demons, I think about it as angles of light, like ways that thought patterns and things that you can truly choose to like side with, or you can see it as a tool, as a mind mechanism, and not let it like just control your ego fully. And
Yeah,
now,
what
you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Like, yeah, it's like your perception. How do you want to take this thing that's there in front of you?
Yeah. So then I was saying he did all of that work and learned all of this stuff about the mind and how the mind works on people and everything. And then he created the Bible, the King James Bible. He's like, oh, I got him now. That's just how it was playing in my head. And he could have been doing it for his good, because you see how it still works out for good of people, but it's still like a reality created in a reality. So for me, working...
I don't know. I would have to look it up. Just off the top, was the King James? Is that King James the Eighth, the guy that killed 8 of his wives?
King James the guy? The first. First. I just now looked it up real fast.
Thank you.
King James. He said he killed all his wives, though. The King James the Eighth.
Because that would make sense. The King James VIII, he rewrote the Catholic or Christian church so he could divorce his wives or something like that. So that would make sense that he's making his own Bible. But yeah, it's probably just in that king or control issue. Like, hey, I got information. I'm in control. Now I can write the story.
Yeah. Yep. And seeing how they can make people fearful of demons and literally make them fearful of themselves. Because what lies beyond fear for me is the truth. Because that's the thing people are most fearful of, is the truth. And it comes at these levels that we're experiencing from taking these psychedelic journeys and plunging ourselves into it. Like, forget whatever I was thinking. Here it is. Whoa, what is going on? Here I am.
Yeah, I remember reading some time ago that when King James Bible came out, that mad people were getting killed because they didn't want that put into the English language.
What word? I missed that.
Well, whatever that language was, whatever the language was that King James spoke, some type of English, but that people were being killed if they were caught with it in certain areas.
Because it was certain probably power to it.
Yeah, there's definitely probably some demonology and prayer work. Still, the Solomon prayers. And there's definitely some stuff. I love the Bible. I know a lot of people hate the Bible, and there's a lot of fucking shit on it because of the Crusades and the fucking force of the Scripture, as a fucking trap and enslavement. But I can't tell you how many things from those Bibles actually came from other places, Egypt and stuff, and Sumeria, and Babylon, and it's these things go way deeper than we could even grasp, and the metaphysical, the allegorical meanings. It's please don't. I guess no matter please don't read that shit like how it's written. Please,
Yeah.
please don't do that to me, I ain't trying to hear about Moses being a real person. You know what I'm saying? It's just in your brain, bro. The Pharaoh is not that person. The Pharaoh's your mind, your mental slavery, you know? And it's like, I love the Bible when I started understanding that and all scripture, you know, at an allegorical level, just fucking mind blowing. I'll be like, just feed me more, you know? Give me more.
Yo, you know what I was running across? It was reminding me about the stars in the sky and the story of Jesus and stuff. I've been hanging around a bunch of French people.
Jesus.
And they were saying Jesus and the stars in the sky and how it moved around the sky at the times, and how that's a huge story about where the sun was at the time. Like when Moses was around, it was the time of Aries. He was welcoming the sign of Aries, and when he came off the mountains with the 10 commandments and he was mad at his people, he was like, man, what the fuck y'all worshiping this bull for? Like, it's the new age. I got the ram's horn. It's because it was the age of Taurus, the bull. And it was Moses was symbolizing the coming of the new age of the ram and stuff like that. And then when Jesus was coming along, it was the time of Pisces. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. I think it was Pisces. And then
You're right.
That started in 1 AD to 2000 something, and then it's going to be the age of Aquarius, and it's like every 2,300, the progression of the equinox. I think that goes along with it.
2160.
Yeah, yep. And that was dope when I ran across 2160, because a long time ago, and the truth was like so pointed out to me because that was my address in Philly. 2160.
Let's 2160 divided by 72.
I'm
30.
Google, bro. 30.
It's a magic number, bro. You'll start. So you'll see 144. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Somebody was saying something.
Somebody.
My neighbor lived at 420 Evergreen. Oh, go ahead. Was that she speaks to snakes?
Yeah, can you hear me? I don't know. My phone is jacked. I'm
There
walking.
it is. I can hear you now.
There you are.
I'm in the project in the building. They just be shutting down.
I was just saying, like the 30.
And the Zodiac is 30.
You break
I just heard Zodiac is 30.
Yeah.
That's all we heard.
Every 30 degrees, it changes to a new one. Yeah. Okay, I hear it. I'm breaking it apart now. All these numbers. 2160 it says 70 divided by 72.
72, right?
Then 72. Wow. Hold on.
72 is 9 times 8.
That was just something I was running across because it was the 72 demons in the Gosha of Solomon.
Yes, sir.
And then they play a big part in that show Evil on Netflix I was talking about. And they was talking about the hierarchy of people, things that's running the earth.
And 72 is 2 times 36. 36 chambers.
Wu-Tang. What'd you know about that?
That's what I'm saying. It's just it's inscripted into like most of the things around us.
And the more we lose the code, the better. The more we gonna be on next level stuff. Cause like we just working with the symbology of our things, and when you put certain sigils together, take this from there, and make new things, you unlock realities. I would think, and that's how I think.
I agree.
Create our own sigils and realities to go into. Because I'm telling you, all microdosing and things, especially before going to sleep, has unlocked my dreams to a level where now I'm seeing, it's speaking to me as a tool on what to do. And not what to do, but just what's going on. like without my mind being blown away so much where I forget what's actually going on. But like things that I think about, I dream about now. So it's like, all right, I play a story in my mind is, all right, I didn't do it here, but I know in this reality I can create that over there, or I can experience this over there, and then I can make an art form of that, translating it back to here through whatever medium or skill I got at the time, like technology or art or something like that, or talking to somebody, whatever pops up. Hey, Wildman Ninja, you still there? No, you probably doing something. You said it's
I'm
the
here.
Ma'at of the cultures. Hey, you were saying something earlier? And welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks. I love your podcast. I was saying, my neighbor lives. His address was 420 Evergreen. I thought that was funny.
432 Evergreen. Where's that from again?
420.
What cartoon?
Oh, I don't know, but this is an actual street, Evergreen, and it was 420. I was like, man, house. I want to live there and grow weed.
Evergreen 420. Oh, I get it now. I get.
Yeah.
I was in another zone. I was a band called Evergreen Terrence. I know it was a cartoon, but
I was born on Friday the 13th, and I got the first time I got 13 tattooed on me. I went to the store right after and bought 540s, 2 Mickeys, 2 211s, and a Budweiser, and the total was 1313.
If only we was tapped in at those times.
Last time I got
See what
arrested
can
was in
happen.
precinct 13.
Well,
Wow. What's next, bro? What's next?
Dude, it shows up everywhere.
Lincoln, Leroy, Tilling. What street is Homer? Oh, another synchronicity. I would. Oh, I knew I was close. Evergreen Terrace. That's where Homer Simpson lives at.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, that ringing a bell too hard right now. I know this street. He live in
I know it's Springfield.
742 Evergreen Terrace.
742. That's a 13.
Wow. Another 13.
There's what you said. Where's the next one that could have come? It's out of your mouth.
I told you, man. Yeah. I just gotta play the part sometimes. That's why I said we have different characters in our minds. And some of them come, in my mind, like they come and play their parts at certain times. But it just come out through the same voice. That is like, it's the same thing, but it's different. Like, so it's like a different character saying, hey, I can do, I see this happening, but it's going to come out like this, and then this character going to jump back in and forget it, and then play along with the script, but going to make it possible. It's wild. Life is amazing. How the mind works. Learning more and more about it every day.
Every day.
Oh, and like how to use, like that's why I'm trying to learn how to use this computer and get everything situated. Get this flowing. I'm like, this a piece of my mind going to unlock something once I get this flowing, going to reach the next level.
Right.
Like working with
I went through a phase
levels.
of no technology, just fucking organic or like nature grown, like not doing social media, but I was like, hey, fucking the way we transmit music, the way we talk to each other right now is kind of based on different things than it used to be, and that's okay. Like things change, and that's, you know, things will always change. So, you know, go with the flow, keep it moving.
Yep, keep it moving. Hey, 7 Polo, you was on. I probably didn't see it. You said that's 13. Yeah.
Speaking of 13, do any of y'all know the 13th constellation is?
Ophiuchus?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
You're on point. You already know it.
I was thinking that was my sign for a bit because I was born under the sun Sagittarius, or when the sun was in Sagittarius, in this dimension of Earth. So I
I
was
Yeah,
would say
thinking,
I
oh,
find
that's
out.
my
our
son.
solar system, the
I,
13.
I, I
The
find out about
12.
it because in Nostradamus' predictions, he says that the world will end, or the third world war will come during the constellation of Fucus when it's showing.
Oh,
But because
Fucus. Yeah, yeah.
it's not always visible from our perspective. It's only visible
Mm-hmm.
from us in certain points. But when it becomes visible is when the third world war will come. Is what Nostradamus' predictions say. What he says.
Hey, we are seeing planets in the sky and stuff on shrooms. A new coming, a new beginning. That seems like an ending. A lot of end probably to a lot of bullshit stuff like capitalism, the way we've been
But
handling it.
the 12 around the 1 makes the 13. That's like the 12, the buckyball. 12 equal forces
Mm-hmm.
make infinity accessible.
And 12 disciples.
Right.
Jesus in the center. That's like the solar plexus and the chakras, or the yeah, like we were just saying. My bad, I was just rolling up.
No, you're good.
I gotta get more lit for this convo.
How y'all feel about 666? I think that's a good number or bad number.
I think 666, without getting into good or bad, I don't think it's a good or bad. I think it's a base of what we call life, like carbon-based life and things like that. Because like the carbon molecule is 6, the carbon molecule has 6 electrons, protons, and neutrons, and like
Carbon
that's
12.
what we
Carbon 12. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you know. So I
think we could build. I'm on the same. I'm right with you, man. I'm right with you.
Yes, I don't really see it as good or bad. I just see it as something as a basis of life energy, and it couldn't take away of desire, like something that wants to exist, and that could be seen as something devilish, but that's how things exist, like of wanting to experience life for itself.
I would say it would depend. It would depend on whatever your belief is. Man is good or bad because it's symbolic of man. It's one of the most important elements to man existing. So that's what's so interesting about it. When the Bible uses 666 to be the devil's number, is very interesting because that's the number of man. So whoever came up with that, they're trying to suggest that man has an implicit evil inside of him. But I kind of take the opposite side. That life is good. It's a beautiful thing. That 666 carbon 12 can't be a negative thing because that's probably the most important element here to life. And I think life is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yep. I think it is. It just got wrapped up in all this fearfulness. This fearfulness of like, oh, we here and it's horrible. Like it's the worst thing that ever exists is being here on Earth. Like you ever been on fire? Turn it like it's worse places.
but fear gotta exist because without fear they cannot be confidence.
Yep.
They couldn't be courage.
Gotta be something that does go against.
Evil gotta exist because it can't be good if ain't no evil.
Right.
And the story keeps going.
I don't think the 666 is actually in the Bible. I think it's more mark of the beast, right? So
they say
that's in the Bible.
Yeah, so that could be any mark.
No, they do say exile. It say his number is 600, 666 or something like that.
Well, 6 score is 6 times 20, which is 120, so it'd be 726. A score is 20. So
you said 7 what?
Well, if you said 6 score, what did you say?
Hold on, I forgot. I just went off of something that was playing in my head. I'm trying to look for the verse now. I gotta whitelist this page so that I can use it. The numerical, those who are blah blah blah. Discover, blah, 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 smoke termit. All right, all this metal
I
music
think it's
going
just the
on.
mark of the beast, bro.
Oh, I'm trying to see. I'm gonna look it up.
Go to Revelation 13, chapter 13, verse 7. It
All
asserts
right,
that 666 is man is a number, the number of man. Chapter 13, verse 17. Revelation.
13, 17.
Yeah.
Yo, this book is wild. The one that I'm gonna show y'all what I'm working with. I was trying to look it up, and they literally cut it off at 13:5. I'm like,
Oh, you're right. It's in the 13:18.
13:18.
Revelation 13:18. Yeah. This calls for wisdom. Let anyone with understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a person. Its number is 666. So don't just disregard the first two things that were said, right? Because if we take what the analysis, what he said after was what we said after was correct. You know, it matters. You know, without
Oh,
good
there
there is
it
no
is.
evil. So it calls for wisdom. Let anyone with understanding calculate the number.
You ever hear that song by Iron Maiden? Called
Which one?
just the hook is running through my head. Oh, it's called Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden.
Mm-mm.
I used to listen to that
I don't
song
think
as
so.
a kid, and he used to talk about living alone and people seeing doing a ritual, and he'd say, "Oh, it's the mark for you and me," and stuff like that. But they had this verse at the beginning, and that's when it started. That's when I started like really looking into it. Like, oh wow, why did this metal band have this verse in the beginning of it? But yeah, it was saying like, here is wisdom. Let him who that understand and count the number of the beast, or his number of man. And then this is where I got that score mixed up. It says 603 score and 6. That's why I was looking this whole thing up. I want to get that
Oh
part.
yeah, that makes sense. 3 score.
I was like, well, I want to confuse people watching that never heard about any of this before. They're like, that nigga don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, hold on, yes I do. Hold on. I'm just traversing dimensions while talking in this one. That's why art is so important, because you can say so much with art without having to interfere with words.
They worshipped the dragon, for he had given authority to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast and can fight against it?" That's ego, bro. That's
You reminded me of a Avenged Sevenfold song. What did you say again? So it can come back to See, we
said they had worshipped the dragon. Who's like the beast? Who can fight against? It's like ego.
Oh,
Let's have a build on ego.
getting lost in here, getting lost in the sauce. I say that's like the thing again. Ego is like playing the game, and then taking a pill or flashing yourself, and now you CJ in San Andreas, and that's all you know is that you gotta go get that money.
Check this out. I always say
But
this
the
to my
same-
I always say this to my psychonaut family, because a lot of things we all say a lot when we tripping or before we about to trip or somewhere along the lines, we say we understand that we're about to have ego death. And what I always say to all my people, I always say, yo, stop using that term ego death, because if your ego hears that, then that makes you the enemy. That puts you in an adversarial position to your ego, versus it's not that you want to kill your ego. You don't want to kill it. You want it to be paralyzed temporarily so that you can open your eyes and see something you couldn't see before. So it's almost like, from my perspective, you're working with your ego. Like, we're friends. You're not my enemy. We're on the same side. You know what I'm saying? But when you say ego death, it's like that makes it seem like it's the enemy. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's healthy to look at the ego as an enemy. It's not your enemy. It has a very valid reason to help you be here on this physical plane. It's
I don't even think you can have that's so true, Walker. I don't even think you can have ego death, because I'd be like, you just gonna pop up in another reality thinking you killing yourself or killing the ego, or it's gonna pop up in a way you don't expect it, like I said, in another world, or that you exist in, or or
Because
even
there's
in
a
any
lot
way.
of spiritual people. There's a lot of spiritual people
Mm-hmm.
say terms like, man, if I could just kill my ego, oh man, my ego is the problem, man. I need to kill it. I'm like,
How you
nah, you
gonna
don't need to kill
talk?
your ego, dog.
How you going to fix your head like I
Don't
am right
don't
now?
yeah, don't do that. No.
Nothing. Just look at my macaroni and cheese.
Oh, cool. Good job. What's
Hey,
up,
Piano
fellas?
King.
What up?
It's
What
been a
up, man?
while. Missed
It's
you,
been
bro.
too long. Miss you too, man. Hey, if you got Audible and if you read the first book, it's great. But the second book, man, I think it's another breadcrumb and a puzzle piece for the community. It's Ready Player
Send it.
2.
Oh,
Ready Player 2
I was
just
gonna
came out.
I was gonna pre-order it, but then I said I didn't read the first one.
Oh man, yeah, check out the first one. It's so much better than the movie, and it applies to everything we talk about here. Like
Mm-hmm. No
but
doubt.
I'm
What it's
I
about? Give us
created
a
Steven
sample.
Spielberg.
Give us a sample.
Okay,
And
so
Arthur.
just like the whole simulation theory. So there's a part of the book where they said being born is kind of like being born into a video game in the sense of like you don't ask to be here, you can't choose your avatar, you're born in a certain time of the universe. It's really well written, and I'm not doing it justice, but that's just an example of just like the simulation
Butcher
theory,
it. It's
killing
all
your
right.
ego. Yeah, killing your ego is in there. What else do they do? Like the movie is, and just like our consciousness, like essentially what happens, it's kind of like in the second book, they've got that Elon Musk device where you put something on your head and you really cannot tell the difference between reality and the virtual world or the simulation or the matrix, whatever you want to call it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
before it was like you had to wear like the VR headset that we have today, but like now it's just been upgraded to the point where it just connects to your brain, via Bluetooth. Like, and we've talked about this for a long time, and that's where Elon Musk is going with it. But it connects to your brain, and it's like you can. Okay, here it is. Here it is. At this point, with the technology that they have with the newer book, they can upload and download experiences. Like I can be Just Tai, or I can be Just Tai's mom, or I can be Just Tai's kid. Like I can be anyone because we're all connected in this network. That's a technology where I can jump from skin to skin. So when these people have these psychedelic trips, and for a second, true life is I don't know, an Egyptian cat, an Egyptian king, or I don't know. Like everyone has these experiences where like you're somebody else, but it's just like it's linking these things via psychedelics and technology. Like I was starting to reread the first book just for fun, and essentially
Mm-hmm.
when they built that world, I don't know if you want to call it it's like an interactive internet. Like if you've seen the movie, essentially there's parts of the Ready Player One internet, the virtual internet, where I don't have VR yet. Just Tai, you do have VR. So essentially, it's like you putting on a VR headset, and some games you can play where science works in your behalf, meaning you can do like you use a cell phone, you can do all this futuristic stuff, and then there's other places you can travel to in the VR world where magic works, mushroom, potions, all that. Like, and then there's some places where both will work, and there's some places where neither will work, and it's like designed like that in this world. But oh man, it's such a good read, man. It's such a good read. I kid you not.
Hey, I'm with it. I'm with it because all of these tools, all of these things that we're interacting with, the way that I'm cooperating with myself, because as Yoel was saying, there should be no separation, and that's what a cool reflection of mine, awesome person Samba is teaching me. He's like 7 years old. He grew up in the Congo and grew up in Paris stuff, but he's real adapting this magician stuff like how we are in the mind space. And I'm sorry, I forgot what I was. I got too much stuff in front of me. I just be jumping in different realities. I gotta just have blank slate in front of me. Hold on. But yeah, he was talking to me about how to combine the body and combine the mind, how there's no separation, and how that's all about loving yourself. Yeah, Because in the Congo, he said they don't believe in any God or anything, just the God of creation, like not the God of any of the religions that pop up. And that there is like how the things we come across is like innate in their culture. Like that's how they live and breathe already. So when other things was being introduced, it was already being seen as a takeover of the mind, or as a being somebody trying to shape how they're living and thinking from then on out. So he gave me a lot of training, like he gave me a lot of tools on getting that connection between the body and the mind, and see what the mind is actually doing, what the body is actually doing. Like it is my body, but it's like the body. So see how to work with it. And like that's when we come up with things like exercising or nutrition and things like that, and talking or breathing fresh air, and like making sure that is able to operate. And just to go off what you were saying with creating seeing the other realities in the games, like you can do this over here, but you can't do this here, and you can do this there. I literally, bro, had a conversation with my sister-in-law about realities and dreams, and I just kept on like sinking out of myself, and like I just gotta tell you this, like I gotta tell you about yourself, like you were awesome, like dreams, reality, who we are, the expansion of how you can go to different places. This is not just it, and it's you that can do that, you that can wake up in those other realities and see what's going on. And I was saying some things, and I literally said some things that I now see I'm not able to do here, I can do in those other realities. Just like when we do the psychedelic experience and go completely into the other worlds, like by ingesting it and stuff like that, it was like I'm getting consciously kind of, I don't even say consciously aware, because not like I can say I'm a dream this tonight's gonna happen, but the deepest feelings that I have, world that I have, I see it, I go to that place in my dream, and then I'm able to do things that I was literally wishing to do. And it's just awesome. Like when I saw the guy, the sleep paralysis demon that was in the show, and I was talking to my girlfriend about how you can't be scared of those things, or it's just a creation of the mind. It's probably trying to tell you something, and it's just ugly, and you like, yo, get away from me, I'm scared. Or we've been taught about demons from the church and stuff like that. So then it's popped up in my dream, and that reality that I was in later that night, and I've literally felt myself creating it so I can laugh at it. Because first I saw a glimpse, and then I was like, oh, wait, I want to see that thing. I want to see that guy. And then I just was dying laughing like, oh, I knew I can pull this off. Like, conjure it up, laugh at it, not be afraid. Like, it was amazing. And that's how my trips are nowadays.
I got a real cold breakdown on my perspective of the simulation. I understand when people use that word simulation, but I don't particularly like that word, though I understand what they mean. I got a cold breakdown. It take me like 4 minutes to break it all the way down, though. If y'all want to hear it.
I'm all ears, bro.
All right, check it out. My way of coming at it is from a law of attraction perspective, because that's kind of like what I say I subscribe to. They ask me, what do you believe? What do you do? Me, as law of attraction. You know what I mean? This is a vibrational universe. Everything is vibration. You know what I mean? So to me, all right, boom. Here we start. Let's start from the beginning to understand this simulation thing. Let's start with a circle. So you could draw it on the paper or just draw it in your mind's eye. You know what I mean? Imagine a circle. This circle is symbolic of God. Now, this is before creation, before anything, at the earliest point in time, it's just this circle. So just as a reference point, imagine this circle was God, and this is before creation. There's nothing but God, meaning it's pure singularity. There is not two things. It's only one thing, and that thing is God, and there's nothing else. So why does God make creation? All right, so let's start from the beginning. If there's a circle, and the circle is God, and can't nothing exist outside the circle, because all there is God. So just as a reference point, there's nothing can exist outside the circle because God is everything. But just as a reference point, if there is only one thing, which is God, can God experience itself? Yes or no?
No.
Oh, I would say both. I would say because it's happening right now.
It can't, and here's why. because experience is a form of measurement. Measurement needs a reference point. So if I say, is an elephant big or small, what would you say?
Oh, it depends on if I'm a giant or an ant.
Facts. So what you're saying is, I can't answer until you give me a reference point, because the elephant is small compared to a planet and is big compared to an ant. It's all relative. So if there is no reference point, you cannot have measurement. Same thing with a frequency. A frequency has a roof and a floor. If it don't have a top and a bottom, you cannot have a frequency to have measurement. Right? So in the beginning, when all there is God in singularity, it is devoid of experiences. It's everything. It knows everything. There is nothing to know because you are everything. You know everything. You can't have experience when you are everything. So the creator, this energy, God, whatever it is you want to call it, the first thing that happens is its primary motivation, from my perspective, is experience. It's desiring to have experience. So the first thing it has to do is create polarity, or a reference point, because a reference point arises out of polarity, right?
Yep.
So polarity happens. Once polarity happens, now we have measurement reference points, and now we can put things into individual rooms. So the tree is a tree, the dog is a dog, and you is you. If there is no polarity, I can't separate you. You are all one thing. Polarity happens, now we can separate things into rooms, boxes, and those rooms don't have awareness of each other. They're their own box. The tree only have knowledge of itself. The human only has knowledge of itself. And you see what I'm saying? So here's what's interesting. So when polarity happens and God goes to make creation, where does God get the materials from to create?
Are you asking me?
It can't go outside the circle because nothing exists outside the circle. All there is God. So when God makes creation, the raw materials is he or she, it is using itself. The only material there is to use is itself, which is God. There's nothing else but God. So when God creates something,
I was going to add, it's an old metaphor too. Saying that the God ejaculated into the universe.
Yes,
and
there
then
is.
Created everything.
Yep, familiar with that one.
So now, which is why emotions are so deep. Emotions is a function of this thing. So why, when you hate something, does it feel bad? The reason why it feels bad is because whatever the object of your hate is, where does the raw material for that thing come from? It comes from inside the circle, which is God. Guess where you come from? You come from inside the circle, which is God. So when you hate something, ultimately you are hating yourself, which is why it feels bad. Just like if you hit yourself in a hammer, why does it feel bad? Because you're hitting yourself. And the flip side is the other way of whenever you feel any good emotion, it is because you are in alignment with who you are.
Well, creation, as they say, right?
Right. So when you feel negative emotion, you are holding yourself apart from who you are, or creation. When you feel a positive emotion, you are in harmony or connection with yourself, or creation. Which is, most people, I don't hear people talk about this a lot, but from the law of attraction perspective, this is why emotions, we have them. It's our navigational system to let us know if we are in alignment with ourselves. Are we holding ourselves apart from who we are?
And I would add to that, if we're on part with the creation of things, like the continuance of the creation, because as the creation wants to exist, Shiva wants to come around and destroy things too, in order to cause some chaos and make some new things pop up. But then that's still for the heart of change of like creation. So like you say, everything goes back to creation.
So take ancestors, for example. A lot of people talk about ancestors. I say there is ancestors, but at the same time there ain't ancestors, because ultimately there's singularity, there's God, and there's nothing else. So a lot of people think when you die, when you transition, you're going back to ancestors, and all these different things, when I disagree with that. You're going back to singularity at some point, at the core of it. So there is no demons, there is no ancestors, there is no mother and father, brother, sister, there is no family. All there is one. But this thing is creating all these things so it can have experiences. The experiences go to the collective. So when people are talking about simulation, it's talking about God having these experiences. Though you could say it's an illusion, you could say it's not real and it's just made up. But for some reason, God has value in these experiences. It has value in not knowing everything, because if you know everything, then you are God and you can't have experiences. The only way you can have experience if you don't know everything.
I'm sorry, that last part. Can you say that again?
Right. The only way you can have experience is if you don't know everything, because the moment you like the yogi say, the moment you hit enlightenment, you disappear because your body can no longer stay in the physical plane. Once you hit enlightenment, you can't even stay here no more. Once you know everything, you cannot stay on the physical plane anymore. Your vibration is too high. This is the lowest base vibration there is in creation, is the physical plane. Which is why I tell people the point of life is not wisdom. It's not to know everything, because the moment you know everything, the game is over. So if you follow everything I said so far, then my position is this. And this is why I disagree with a lot of people. A lot of people talk to me like the point of life is to transition past this. The point of life is to see behind the veil of life and see all these secrets. It's the point of life is to be here. Because we can't have this experience anywhere else but here. So the point is not to know about spirits and demons and other planets and other universes. You're gonna know that anyway when you transition. All that is automatic. The magic is right here, right now. This is the unique experience in the physical. This is what everything is about. The creator did all this work so that we can have this experience. This is the magic where we at.
I totally agree.
I feel you on that, bro. I will expand on that too. Like the creator of this world created this place right here of where we are. And like for me, like I talk, and when I talk and things like that, I can't help but talk from Ta's perspective first, which is like, or Steph is like, yeah, I'm here, I'm physical, I can do things, I can touch things, I can walk around, but and on top of that, I also see my multi-dimensional self. Like when you say ancestors and things, I'm on that page too. I'm like, it's not the ancestors, it's just whatever you was taught that higher thing to be.
Because it's aspects of yourself, just like the demons are all aspects of yourself. When we say ancestors, we're really saying aspects of ourselves, in my opinion.
That's how I see it. And it just come in that fatherly figure form, or grandfatherly. Like, man, imagine my great grandfather, kind of wisdom he will have, or she will have, and then they go to give it to you. Because to me, let me close this door. To me, I see everything as being fake or false. Well, part of the illusion and all realities, like even me talking in here right now, and like you said, it is to enjoy the experience. And with dreams and everything, like you be able to tap into a lot of things from this point in consciousness, because this point in consciousness is way bigger than what we've been taught to believe. Like, it's not just things in front of us that we can touch. It's things that's right, like literally right there. Just got our senses is just being worked on by the AI, the aliens, or whatever. However the system is processed and tweaked on, or DLCs is thrown in there. It's like now we get new senses in this reality to be able to do different things that we were doing in other realities. It's like, oh, let's see how we can do this a little here and tweak it in with the social environment, the nature that's out there, and see how that plays off. I see it's just, yeah. and
which is
it's
dope.
something in honoring the creator, the developers and stuff like that. But I just be saying nobody can trap me, so that's just another creator to me. Just like, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Which is interesting when you look at like the devil, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote. To me, man, the devil is so important. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's genius. Like when the Bible makes the devil an angel, he would have to be an angel because he's doing God's work. And what that is preventing you from gaining knowledge. The devil twists your mind and lies to you. And the greatest thing that can ever happen to you is you to be prevented from knowing, because once you know everything, the game is over. So it's not trying to destroy the game. The devil is trying to keep the game going. Like, once you know everything, the game is over. So just like when you come out a trip, people always talk about it. There's something or someone that comes and erases a lot of the things you experience because you're not supposed to know it while you're here. Oh, you know what I'm saying? There's something that erases a significant amount of the stuff you see and experience when you transition.
Have
because
you ever, have you ever done psychedelics?
Man, all the time.
Cool. Yeah, so you know what you're talking about.
All the time, man. All the time. I was just thinking about just recently. I smoked some DNT in front of the ocean, and it was like it was one of the most powerful fucking. It was almost too powerful for my body to handle. I seen the past, the present, the future, and all of my past lives at the same time. And it was almost too much for me to look at. I'm sitting there looking like, holy shit, it's too much for my mind. My ego started tripping like, oh, it's too much. Well, too much. All my past lives, I was looking at them at the same time, like a physical thing. Just sitting there looking at them like, oh, shit.
What kind of clothes you had?
Man, I had different clothes. I was different races. I was all type of stuff, man.
That's amazing.
Which I always recommend. I don't know if y'all, I'm sure y'all know, because, you know what I mean, most of us are professionals at this. We've been doing it for a minute, but whenever you have the experience, the sound of your environment programs a significant amount of your experience. So it's powerful to do in front of the ocean because the noise of the ocean, the vibration of the ocean really gets into the experience. Like as soon as you inhale the DMT and you hold it, I go into this place where I could like see it scanning my environment. I could like feel it scanning my environment and the sounds of my environment, and to bring it into my experience. So I don't know if y'all experience that too.
You all said it's a frequency. Yeah, so you into traveling and stuff. So you know, yeah, you've seen some things. Kaya Baji, he was just asking why would you want to stay in why should we stay in the physical if you like to do psychedelics. But I hear what you the connection I got to is just loving yourself, like loving what's here full-heartedly, to the point where it's all the same. Language is so confusing. But what you got to say about that?
My purpose with psychedelics has been, man, I don't know if y'all agree with this, but I from my travels, it seems like the majority of people who get into psychedelics go through a lot of hard shit in life, like the prophets in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Most of the all the prophets in the Bible go through the hardest shit, and it seems to be something with that. So, and being lost and pain and struggling, there's something that in you that desires answers, and you desire it more than regular people who don't go through a large amount of struggle. And it's something about if you start desiring answers, somehow psychedelics find their way into your life somehow. I don't give a fuck who you are. Once you get like adamant and start desiring answers, deep ass answers, somehow you meet that guy and like, yo, you want to know the truth? You want to meet God? No problem. I'll take you right to him. Like, shit, if you can take me to God, I don't believe it, but let's prove it to me. And then once that time you have enough balls to try, then you actually go meet God. Like, yep, you was right. I met God face to face, 100%. You wasn't bullshit. But I don't believe the purpose is to always be transition into somewhere else. I think the only purpose of transitioning is to inform you and help you on what to do while you're here in the physical plane. So that would be my answer.
Gotcha. I feel you on that. That's a way. It's to help this game get better. Go out and be like, oh, that's what's going on over there. Let's do this over here. Stuff like that, or life lessons that it teaches you with family and things.
Because it's just like the devil.
Mm-hmm.
There's something that wants to erase all your knowledge and wisdom or prevent you from acquiring it. But there's also God. There's something that wants to give you the knowledge and wisdom. So you have to tune into what side ever you on. You know what I mean? Depending on what your frequency is.
And what would you say, for just for sake of conversation, is the God that's trying to take it away? What would you say is the God, like, before I put a word into it?
I guess they call it the devil.
Just asking question. But then I'm thinking like the reverse. Like if the devil is the good, then who's the other God? Like because I put that as the God of man, that man created. Like man created with his mind a God, like naturally to protect themselves, and because we have these awesome imagination engines that create realities and things, and people then could say, oh well, we want things to be like this, and then after a couple generations they see how they was able to eventually get more control over the people because they had more connection to the source of when it all started, so people believed them more. And then we got different religions and stuff and like that, and that's the God that people worship with money. Because I think it's a natural thing for people to, like you said, to be the God and the devil.
It's just like this. That little orange or yellow light that comes on in your car when you run out of gas. Is that good or bad?
Depends on if you got money.
It's bad. It's bad if you ain't got no money to get some more gas, but it's good like a motherfucker, because if you ain't had that light, you would have to run out of gas every single time before you could refuel. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
So that light is serving you. It's a good thing. That's how I view the devil. It's like that little orange light that come on for your gas tank.
Gotcha. I'm with it.
It's serving a great purpose,
a desire,
even though you could say it's a negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
What about knives versus spoons? Is a knife evil?
No. It's a tool. It can go either way. I can take this pencil on my desk and write a novel, or I can stab my girlfriend in the neck. She can't hear me, right? Yeah, she can't hear me. I can do whatever I want with this pencil.
Yeah, but I say she might stab you in the neck.
Or we could even show the neutrality of things, like walking across the desert, you see a glass of water, you haven't drank any water for 3 days. Now that water could save your life, or you could choke on it.
I know, drink it too fast.
And you're done.
True.
As I drink some water.
That's what's so crazy about heaven and hell, is that heaven and hell, unbeknownst to a lot of people, it is here. What you could either be in heaven while you're here or be in hell.
True, very true. That honestly, that speaks to me with one of my favorite movies, man. It's not really even a psychedelic, but it's freeing of the mind and soul and body. Shawshank Redemption. How essentially hell and heaven can both be within your brain. It's literally a mindset. But Shawshank Redemption, man, I watch that every time and I tear up just because.
Yeah, it's a good ass movie.
Yeah, man. Like, but people because my thing was like, I was depressed at one point. I literally have family and friends that are in prison. Like, of the people I went to high school with, most of them are locked up or dead. Like, but I made it, and I was depressed in my 20s, and I was like, why am I depressed? Like, I have a brother who's been in jail for over a decade. Why am I like? And it was my own mental prison that I put myself in. I had to figure out how to break those shackles. I'm proud that I did that, man. Legit. But it all does come from within, though.
My hell has been corporate America.
Agreed.
In that, one of the things that most people are taught in society is to do something you hate in order to get what you love, and that is such a fucking prison, a cycle of prison you can't fucking get out, because now you can't stop doing what you hate, because then you lose what you love. So you can't get off the treadmill now. When the key
Sometimes
to
you
life,
got to.
my opinion, the key to life, the absolute key, the like from law of attraction standpoint, is doing what you love. There is nothing higher or greater in this lifetime, nothing that will yield you more results, more pleasure, more joy, more protection than doing whatever it is that you love the most and have the most fun doing and feel that whatever that is, if you do that, blessings will come into your life. To me, it's a vibrational thing. It's not even about the thing that you do. It's about how you feel when you do it. If you do the thing you love the most, you will resonate at a very high vibration. If you're at a very high vibration, you will be protected and wonderful things will come into your experience. If you're doing what you hate to get what you love, when you're doing what you hate, your vibration will be low because you are aware that you hate this shit. Like, fuck this shit. This is some bullshit. I don't want to be around these people. I don't like this and that. And whenever you are vibrating at a low frequency, then it allows negative entities to come into your life, negative influences, negative manifestations. It's just a prison you can't get out of. So for me, one of the first steps to freedom is finding what you love the most and do that. That's one of the first steps to freedom, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that is one of the first steps. Is the I would think that was pretty cool what you said. Thanks. I was thinking as well. What
Being
things that
grateful
come to
for
us,
what
what
you
is
have.
bad, yeah, what is good, and what oh yeah, you go Exile, you can talk.
But to add, being grateful for what you have too.
Because I was gonna say some things on a bigger scale. I was thinking like, what do we plot out for ourselves, and how much control do we actually have over what's occurring in front of us? And is because for me, I'm seeing the journey is becoming in what Exile was saying, like seeing what we have, what I have in front of me, and even as soon as because I hate a lot of, I used to hate a lot of stuff. I used to literally hate people. I used to think people was stupid. I used to hate like just a lot of things about life. And now I'm seeing and being warped into it because I'm seeing how you saying when you walk in a different vibration, things just move differently. Like people not going to interact with you in a way that's like going to make probably still, but not just off the cuff like how it is. Not like a hell loop, like you on a loop all your life in the same thing. Can't solve the issue. But I want new problems in life. I used to say that to myself. I said, I'm good with problems with life. I just want a new set of problems. I don't want to deal with the same set of problems that I'm dealing with now. And the only way I've been able to pass through these chambers is through sitting in it. Because every time it seemed like I'm trying to run away from it and create a new mental atmosphere around it, it's like I'm just a hamster on a treadmill. And then I hear the squeaking horn, and it's like, you're trying too hard. Like the clown
Well, that's
horn.
the literally only way to do it is to face it.
And experience, because you can't think I'm not talking to you specifically, but this is just how I've been taught and been
You better be
having to
talking
go
now.
the experience is what creates the thoughts afterwards, and is what really shapes and molds what happens next. Because you can think something, and then when faced with the experience, it's like the adventure game. It's like the heat is on, and based off of our programming, like we've been programmed so much since we got here. Like we agreed to the terms and conditions overall, but you know how we don't read the contracts, or we get zapped by Men in Black and all that stuff.
It's the other way around. First comes
What you say?
thought, then experience. Well, first vibration, then thought, then a manifestation. That's the Holy Trinity.
But I would say sometimes trust our thoughts and everything. But I would say sometimes our thoughts is playing games on us. in order for big like lessons like you will see on Family Guy, like all this quirkiness to happen where we think we was doing something but we caused something else, this other chain of events to happen, then at the end of the day we can laugh it off and things like that, but all this commotion happened that at the root was still all us, because it's always just about us. And when our programming and us and loving ourselves and connecting with ourselves is seeing the history that we've been through in the bodies that we exist in now. Like sometimes it would be hard to think real positive, like how on the next level, like how a millionaire would think positive when you don't have food on the table and stuff like that, or your friend got shot or things like that. So it's like you would think different thoughts on how to operate.
I would love to.
Said,
I would love to address what you just said, because so I subscribe to the law of attraction. From law of attraction standpoint, what you said is incorrect. Because the problem with what you're saying is, if what you're saying is true, now you cannot control how you feel. Because what the implication of what you just said is, I feel based upon what I'm observing. If how you feel is based upon what you're observing, then you can't choose how you feel. What you're experiencing chooses how you feel. So if you're in a bad situation, you can't feel good because the situation is bad. Therefore, you are in prison.
Or you can have some training where when bad situations do come up, because you've been in bad situations and just sat there in the fire and got through it. Now when it come up, you don't address it the same way. That's what I like about psychedelics. Help rework your brain so you can encounter things in different ways that you didn't before. But only way was by acknowledging the way that I was before. Like that was the only way.
Take what Exile just said about.
That takes into account the hide and seek aspect of this reality. Not knowing, we don't have all the cheat codes. We don't have all the information, and acting like you do, that's a falsity. That you're fooling yourself.
Take what Exile just said about gratitude. That's one of the keys. Here's why though. Let's come at it from a neuroscience standpoint. Why is gratitude so powerful? I like appreciation better, but we could use gratitude. That's fine. I ain't even gonna go technical into words, but gratitude. Here's why. All there is now. There is no other place. So you have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is approximately 5% of your brain. The subconscious mind is 95%. The conscious brain is the part of your brain that deals with time. There is no such thing as time to your subconscious mind. So when we talk about, say, if you wanted to be rich, for example, be wealthy, there's only one place that you can be rich. It's right now. So if you want to bring wealth into your experience, you can't believe that you're going to be rich in the future. You have to believe you're rich right now, no matter what you see. No matter what you see. And if you believe that you're rich right now, then you are rich. And we call, from my perspective, we call the subconscious mind the great prover. The subconscious mind is directly connected to the creator, directly, which is where intuition comes from. So whatever your conscious mind believes, your subconscious mind will prove it to you. It will give you intuition. It will show you where to go, tell you what to say, and guide you. So if you believe that you're rich, your subconscious mind will guide your steps into circumstances where that happens. So gratitude is what wealth is. The only place you can be wealthy is right now in this moment. And that's what appreciation is. If you feel abundance and thankfulness for the money you have now, then you're rich. And if you stay in that vibration, the universe will give you more and more of whatever you focus on.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I was speaking on. Being comfortable with what you got, and seeing what it is, because it is, your mind is in different places and multiple places all at the same time, and like you said, the 5% brain in the front just tap into what's going on here over everything.
Right, and that's one of the. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the money and things like that. Like the focus on the money, and like I don't like the ways that I'm being taught by people old, like that's in positions that I don't idolize, but I just see feels where I'm at. But like you said, be grateful for where you are, and then the chapters in the story and the experiences that we go through is going to lead to that magical moment where we like, oh wow, I got a stack in my pocket, or oh wow, I'm able to talk to these people. And like, I think it's going to come in many forms where it's not going to be about the money. And I think that's where a trick come in, especially for me, because it was one day I thought I was going to go to work. Like, I got a bunch of side jobs, and as soon as I thought I was about to, my car stopped working. And I had to I didn't know what was wrong. I was like, what? It just didn't start at all. And I was like, yo, I gotta fix this. So I was in my mind like, I'm gonna fix this. I'm trying to figure it out. But then I had before that, I had this huge imagination. Wow, I got this gig. If I do good at this gig for like 5 days, 6 days, I could do 6 days, just stay home with the fam one day. It'll be all right. I'm gonna do this because then I'll be able to do this in the future. I could flip this around and do this. And then, like I said, the car stopped. And then in place of that, it was a lot of other events that occurred where I wasn't making money, but I wasn't freaking out about it. So then I was able to produce family environment scenarios that helped my family grow in a way that I wasn't expecting. But because, like you said, being grateful for everything, be it for the money, for life, for the artistry, the relationships, the whole shebang bang. That's really how we get to our next universe.
And what's the evidence of you being grateful? How do you know? How does a person know when they're grateful? Because this is the key.
No more nightmares.
There's only one way to know when you're being grateful. Because it feels good. Gratitude is not a conceptual thing. It's an emotional thing. So some people try to have gratitude in their minds as a concept, but they may feel bad, then you won't get results. The gratitude is a feeling. When you feel gratitude, then you cooking. Now you in a good spot. But a lot of people conceptually say, I have gratitude for this and I have gratitude for that, but they don't feel that way. They feel miserable. They feel lonely. They feel broke. They feel weak.
I've been through that.
But their mouths are saying, I feel gratitude. And if I say it, then that means something. The universe does not speak English. It does not speak any language. The universe only speaks vibration. It don't care what comes out your mouth. It is responding to how you feel. That's the key.
Yeah, that's the key. The thing that's beyond the words. And then you just go with the flow on what happened, whatever that flow need to take you to get you to where you're going. Sometimes you over here and over there.
You could fake words. You could fake words, but you can never fake vibration.
No. You can hum a guitar, but you can't play them notes how they really sound when you strumming it. You feel me? Thanks for saying coming by. How you find out about the podcast? About this channel?
I used to join True Life live stream. Sometimes I get on there, start arguing with some of the people every once in a while. I turn it up every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I come through and turn it up. You know what I'm saying? Bring some life to the conversation every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we get stuck talking about the same thing. That's what's needed. Life.
And I do a whole bunch of psychedelics. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, who the fuck do you talk to about this shit? You know what I'm saying? You don't have nobody to talk to really. So I'm like, shit, I got a group of people I could talk to about this shit. Just sign me up.
That's what I like. That's why I started this. Because I was like, I want to talk to anybody that's out there. And I was trying to use code words at first without saying psychedelics. And then I said, fuck it. Especially when True started going live and stuff. But yes, I'm happy to have you on. Happy to have you on. Look for another L.
Likewise, man. Pleasure to be here.
I think I'm about to tie on out of here pretty soon. Unless you got anything else you want to bring up. Hold on. I'm looking around right now. See if something pops my attention. Oh yeah, I was mentioning with the VR and art. Like I don't know if y'all was there in the beginning. If y'all have any art and things like that, I have to check out the Just Now website. I'm gonna start having like feature art of the week or articles if you want like to type and write. It could be about psychedelics, about yourself, about the mind, and or about uplifting people, about some information you ran across. You know how articles be. So write some tiacles. Tried to add tie to articles. But yeah, let's have some fun with it and actually build a community. I'm gonna open up a forum on there too, so we can type like how we do on Discord and just post whatever. But it'll be like on a public forum, just so people that's passing on by can see what's going on. So just in case it's not Discord, I don't own Discord, but I own pieces of Just Tainow, so we can all build together, build more websites within websites or websites next to websites, link to other websites. Because all it is virtual worlds that I see is going to be more habitable as time progresses with the technology that we have with VR and AR technology. So we might as well get to creating now like we've been doing since the beginning, or since the now, since there is no beginning or end.
Yeah, man. I'm on my journey right now to get super filthy rich. And
What you gonna do with all that money?
Long story short, that's a long conversation. But long story short, the path to getting wealthy or rich is increasing value in other people's lives. That's the key. How can you make someone else's life better? How can you impact someone else's life? How can you teach them something? How can you give them something they didn't have before? So that's what I try to do. Like when with true live streams. One of the things I heard him say one time, he was like, "There's not a lot of females that come to the live stream," and I assessed that like from the first time I came on. I'm like, yeah, from these conversations, I guarantee ain't no woman on here. You know what I'm saying? Just from the topics that were being chose. You know what I'm saying? And one of my things I try to, like, all of us, all of us, I think our job is increasing the value that we're giving. And if the evidence, if we're giving out value in what we do, our art, what we say, etc., then people will come, and you will know, because it'll be evidence. They'll come. You see all types of different people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm big on figuring out ways to increase the value that we give to other people, whatever it is. If they stop by, listen to what we're talking about, if it's references, if it's top articles, whatever it is, books, movies. That's the key, man. However we can.
Movies too. I was thinking of that because I got a couple skits and I like filming things. Like, yeah, we gonna have movies, skits, short films. It's all there. It's all there. And if you know how to do anything, let me know, or just drop some stuff off in the Discord.
Yeah, I'm a writer, an artist, and I just got heavy into the to trading, stock market.
Oh, I did too. I did like 3 months ago.
Word.
I got into the stocks.
You familiar with cryptocurrency?
Me, I'm diving into like day trading. I haven't got into the crypto yet. And I don't have enough money right now to really capitalize off it. But I wish I did, because cryptocurrency is booming right now.
Yeah.
If you know what's going on. Yeah, it is booming. People are making millions off of that shit right now. If you got the money.
Yeah, it all depends on how much you going up, because it went from like 15,000 a Bitcoin a month ago, or 16,000 a month or two, and now it's at 18,000. So it went up like 3,000 if you owned one Bitcoin. That's still a lot of money, like you said. That's why the people that already got it, they are living. They are doing
they're
something.
Killing it.
They're killing it,
man. They're killing it.
And that's just because they was listening to themselves a long time ago. But yeah,
and that's one of the things I'm big on too, man. All the psychonauts, you know what I'm saying, psychedelic people. I think we need to break the 9-to-5 paradigm, you know what I'm saying, and get into making ways to support ourselves independent, you know what I'm saying, where we don't have to play along with what someone else believes, or dress a certain way, or think a certain way, and we could be ourselves and take care of ourselves at the same time. I think that's important. for the world, man. For those people not just surviving off someone else. 'Cause if you're surviving off someone else, you can't be who you really are. You can't say what you really believe, etc., etc. Because it's their shit. You can't go in someone else's house and do what you want because it's their house. You know what I mean? But if you can create your own house, then you can have any rules you want. Which I think being an entrepreneur or just making money independently is the key to freedom and happiness, in my opinion.
Yeah, we have all the knowledge to manage all these huge companies. Like we can manage ourselves and manage communities that connect to other communities, but put all that knowledge into, like you said, creating something from the ground up. Because then that's innate in us. But it's only going to be something that played a role.
There's a such thing as freedom. So that means there has to be bondage. So that means if there's a such thing as masters, there has to be a such thing as slaves. So slaves are never going to leave the planet. It's part of the whole thing. It's part of the whole picture. There's always going to be slaves. The only question is whether or not you are going to be a slave or a master. That's the only question. Nothing you can do can take away slaves or take away masters. They will always be here because they need each other, which is why you see it in every step in history, the slaves and masters. The only question is, how will you live your life? Where will you be?
And then he just said it's not about separation but connection. And what that just taught when I was listening to you. Yeah, it is about what we would choose to be. And what I've been doing with a lot is combining the two. Combining the slave and the master mentality. And like getting where, because the only reason the master is a master is because they have knowledge base of what's going on and using it over top of somebody that don't have as much know-how in the reality that they peered up in, or they like abuse, like in the way of the mentality as well as the physical. It's the same thing to me, the mentality and the physical. But they just don't really have all the tools of what's going on in the master. Like, I know what's going on. I can tell you how to do this and do that. But I think with psychedelics, for me, they've been opening up that possibility of letting people, like, really, like you said, come up with their own shit. Even if it's shit. Like, man, that's your shit. Ain't my shit, but you came up with it. Go live your life over there. I ain't going to tell you what to do. Like, if you need me, I'm over here. I mean, or if you want to work with me, I'm over here. But if that's how you are, that's what you want to do, I'm just going to allow you to do that. I just think with capitalism, it is cool and things, but it plays on a lot of people's imaginations. And it takes a strong spirit, though. But that's what makes strong spirits. As you said, the slave and the master mentality thing. But only if you break out of it. And it's like that. It's a huge puzzle game. It's a puzzle game. It's a fucking fucked up puzzle game to put on human beings.
What about master versus novice and not slave?
Yeah, in my mind, I was trying to switch the word around, but then I kept talking and I forgot that point. Thanks, Exile.
Do or do not.
I'm talking about the word slave. I'm using the word slave because I'm talking about real life examples. Like, there's real slaves right now, not novices. I'm talking about slaves. There are slaves right now.
Anybody's got that potential to. Hey, you give them some knowledge. Hey, now they're a master. So it's not a slave thing. It's a novice thing. I'll duel you to the death.
It's a slave thing. It's a slave thing because the evidence is there has always been slaves and never been a point when there wasn't slaves. So you can't say it's not a slave thing. I knew you was
going to say something like that.
There was never a point when there wasn't slaves. So, but my point is the reason, huh?
I don't know if you can back that up.
But well, like you said,
I agree. I'll agree, but I don't think if we can actually say that. You know, if there's no beginning and no end, if everything is happening right now, then yes, then there are always going to be levels to the game.
Like a reality where that happened in the past and where it didn't, where it's there and not.
Right.
Yeah,
there's slaves here. There's slaves here now, and all there is now. So there's always been slaves. Simple math.
But we're saying the now is not. But I think the terms I was talking in was that the now is not just the noun that's ticking and talking in front of us. But and also too with the slaves, it's still the same story with the slaves. Like in my vision, how I hold it in, how you said like with the law of attraction and stuff, still how I hold it in my heart or how I see how I want things to be. I still hold it in that I want that connection to be bridged through acceptance, not even just knowledge, but just acceptance of who people actually are. Because people is levels to what knowledge actually is and what smartness or know-how actually looks like. And somebody
Right.
can say what something looks like, and the other people was doing fine and dandy. I knew I know a guy that grew up, another guy that grew up in the Congo, and his dad had 5 wives and a whole plot of land and everything. They used to grew up in the forest. They used to grew up eating all these kinds of fruits. He even told me one time there was these 3 different species of mushrooms, and his brother was into them, gave them to him one time. And he was like, "Yo, I never wrote like that in my life," and I was cracking up. Well, and then when the French came and they took over because they wanted the minerals and what's going on now and a lot of stuff y'all see, but they made them leave their village because they saying y'all not living right, and made them, if they wanted to go to school or get a job, they had to become Christian. And then they had to get a job in the city. So his whole family broke apart because now they was poor. They was considered poor, and they couldn't live on their land anymore. They got kicked off and everything. And then most of them got adopted.
Yeah, here
Spread
let me
across
help
the
you.
world.
Here, let me help you, said the monkey to the fish as he calmly put him up a tree.
Yeah, and go even wilder, exile and water. He said the people that was adopting them was from France because some people felt sorry for what the French was doing, what their country was doing. Like one of the people I was talking about, he's adopted by a rich white pastor, so he got to live like a rich life in Paris, even though he was black, but he still was discriminated against. That's a whole nother story. Paris ain't what you think it is. But yeah, he got into music, so that's what got him through. But then he had to leave because he was talking about political issues and stuff too much. And he's like, "We don't want that. We're gonna get you." And about opening of the mind.
Can we give somebody the answer to a question that they're not ready to ask?
Oh, you put them in hell. Like,
Yeah, you put them in cognitive dissonance.
yeah, they don't know what's going on. Yeah, I've done. I think I've done that. I don't know if I actually done that, but I think I've done that. And
Cognitive
then,
dissonance.
Like, what are you? Like, yeah, and they have like, what are you talking about? What are you trying to say to me? And then I'll see the program fight it, and
what cognitive dissonance is when someone is presented with evidence contrary to their belief, the process that their brain goes through to maintain the same belief despite the new evidence that refutes it.
Yep, that's what I was explaining. I didn't even know what that meant.
Which is a human phenomenon. Which is why if you tune in to when I'm on the live, when I start talking my shit, it's gonna inflame some people.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's say the truth is scary. And they say, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Like that line in that movie vibrated so much out in existence, not because it was Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't even think that's the right guy. Or that it was about the law and all that stuff, but just that bell rings, and then some people are like, wait, I can handle it. And then they take the 5 grams and think they can. Or whatever it is. But also other people, when faced with a mind-opening thought, is like, hold on, I think this. It's this other guy that I'm working with. He's very deep into the Islamic faith. And when we bring up things, you hear defenses, well, I just call them defenses, popping up in his mind and saying, wait, now, is Allah that wrote this, or he sent the prophet to do this, and if I say this chant and somebody shoot me, I'm not going to get shot because the prophet told God this. And then if you say, well, why didn't he tell you that? And why did he have to tell that person that? And if we have all of these powers right now, why did Africa get taken over? If we can be and if bullets can't go through us if we say a certain chant and stuff like that. So it's a big topsy-turvy game because you're playing with imagination of people, which is actually a reality, but then you got to see what's actually going on in this reality. and the story gets big like that. No,
Yes,
I lost. Yeah, we're trying to
No, you're there.
introduce new
You're there.
thoughts with people.
Hey, when you come to that space, let it be. You've said, I find you, or I see you're perfect the way you are, but don't feel like you're lacking anything when you finish a point and they're silent.
I really do feel like that. I got fill in the blank.
Well, that blank slate. Remember, you found it yourself earlier.
Gotta
It's like, hey,
reset.
right.
So I say this is something else I always try to contribute to the conversation at some point is it's what I call guru vision. I try to bring people to the level of guru vision, and guru vision is, from my perspective, my terminology, is when you realize that the world is already perfect. The world is perfect. Right. And most of the time when I listen to the conversation that people have, they're talking about it in negative terms, like it's a some type of trick game. There's an oppressor. There's someone that's holding you back, and
boogeyman.
that will prevent you from reaching the highest level, because
that might prevent you from reaching the highest level. If you hear these conversations and you believe what you've just been saying, not to be. Well, if I am hearing bad word, if I'm hearing somebody say that they're lacking something like Thai, that's in my own perception, right? It just happened, like on the live, like, I just pointed out something that Thai should do, but that's only from my perspective. So just like in your thing, like you point out in truths, there's negative conversations or whatever. That might be just in your perspective, though, right? And I might be doing it now. This is all that we do, is help each other. We see ourselves in other places, and I'm gonna go and put some lotion on the knee, or I'm gonna go, work out my pectorals, or I'm gonna go do some squats. I'm gonna drink some food or whatever. Drink some food. Like,
I'm on point with you.
But hold on, let me respond to what he said.
Say? Yeah, you go first.
So my perspective is this. It'd be like if I said, well, you might be gay. What do you think about that? Well, what are the rules of being gay? We have to come to a consensus on what that means. So my reference point is law of attraction, and everywhere in the whole universe is vibration, which is absolute laws of nature. If you violate these laws, the principles of law of attraction, then it will show up in your manifestations. For an absolute fact. That's my perspective. If you can prove that wrong, if you violate these wrong, then I would love to hear the framework or the references or your logic to how that is. To me, a person wouldn't be gay just because you said, well, you could be gay. You see what I'm saying? It would have to fit inside of specific guidelines. If this are the guidelines of what gay is, and you do those things, then you would be gay. But anyone could say, well, you could be anything, but how much do you prove it? You're just saying something. You can say anything, but if there's no substance until it is what you're standing on. I'm standing on the law of attraction, which I can argue in any situation. What would you be standing on if someone says something negative that's just in my mind, and not a negative manifestation going to occur in their life if they have a negative vibration? I would say that's a fact. If you have a negative vibration, no matter who you are, where you are, a negative manifestation will result, because that is the absolute law of attraction.
If that's how you see it, right?
Mm-hmm. No, but not if. The conversation is, if that is incorrect, what would be your reasoning? Show me where this is not true somewhere. Other than, well, you could be gay. Well, just you saying that wouldn't make it true. You're just asking a question. So what are you standing on? Let's talk it out.
Hey bro, I got some. The mushrooms really gave me this experience. In my experience of self of working with this exact thing that you trying to pinpoint on fact, opinion, objective reality versus a subjective reality. Is objective reality true, or is everything subjective based off of what's going on? And I went through a lot of things in my mentality of trying to point things out and organize things and do this and that, and then it was all obliterated in a way before everything was just one, but just in saying all of those things is different paths that's all going to lead to the same thing, just in a way different way. I mean, it's a way different way, in a completely topsy turvy different way. That when you're looking at something, it can look different, but when somebody else looking at when you're looking at something, it can look like this, and then somebody else looking at it, it can look like this. And because y'all both looking at it, it's both of those things at the same time that y'all looking and thinking about. It's not the thing that it actually is. And that wait, I got something for you. And that then it started coming to me like Facebook. When you type something in on Facebook, a lot of people in Russian bots, but Facebook specifically is geared towards pushing your buttons and getting you addicted to things that get you, that's like shocking you and stuff, or angry and stuff like that. But also, it's responding, it's an algorithm, or say like a genie or something that's inside of the Facebook that's showing you things that you type in, that you click on based off your friends and stuff. But things that you type in is going to keep in advertisements, things that you click on is going to show you things that cater to your reality. That's your Facebook. That's your truth. That's your Facebook. And it seemed like it's real because all of these, it seemed like it's real when you're not paying attention to all the algorithms. Like, yeah, I do like that. Or, yeah, I did want that, or stuff like that. But then when you see behind the scenes and be like, oh, it's an algorithm in place that set this like this, that presented this news to this, or showing this friend to this based off of how many times they clicked on my page, or this, they don't even show me this other group of friends because they don't even click on my page, or we don't click on similar interests. So it thinks that it's catering to your realities, to your truth. And then we hear people go off of all of these, like this what the mainstream is worried about. They say, oh, people finding out all these things on Facebook, and then they go off with all these truths and believe it with all their heart, and they not paying attention to the facts. And then, but I was talking to myself, and it was saying, I was seeing the mind, how it works. I say that's a bigger play on reality, like the as above, so below. Like it's a thing in reality, that's a genie in reality that's playing things out. So, or jester, whatever you want to call it, that making it so that things in front of us is true. And then when we say something, it's going to make it to us seem like it's true until we make the decision to see it differently.
Can what would you say to what I'm about to say now? So I agree with everything that you're saying, but I would add this, and I want to see how you respond to this, because this is a very subtle distinction that's very important. When I speak of law of attraction, it is not good or bad. It is not truth versus falsehood. It is about, the way I would describe it is about being an intentional creator versus an unintentional creator. These are the options. It's not good or bad. It's not truth or false. The question is, are you going to create with the intentionally to what you desire? Or are you going to be a default creator and shit is just going to show up in your experience and you're going to be surprised when it got there? That's the difference between a slave and a master. A master creates as their intentions are. A slave, they just get something. They're not creating intentionally. They're creating by default. So if you're a crackhead, it's not bad. It's not false. It just is. If you're a billionaire, it ain't good, bad, true, false. It just is. So the question is, what do you think is better? If someone thinks a crackhead is better than being a billionaire, I would disagree with that. If you can create two of them and you choose to create being a crackhead, having AIDS versus being a billionaire, I would disagree with that. But that's just as valuable an experience. Absolutely. It's not good, not bad. It's all equal. But if you had the choice, I think you would be smarter to be the billionaire. I think it would be smarter for you to be healthy. I think it would be smarter to have to manifest your desires. That's my perspective. So,
Man,
what would
but
you say to that?
I feel sorry for the crackhead guy they created in GTA. He have a choice. He just gotta live as a crackhead. But yeah, that's what I got my first response. But my second response is some people probably wanted. You never know what a spirit want to do. Like you said, good or bad, they probably want to live and die as a crackhead, and like I want to be discriminated against. I want to live out in the streets. I want to have to struggle for my next meal, or I want to chill with my buddies out on the street all day and all night, or I want to experience whatever you experience on crack when the high actually kicks in. I don't know.
And if they were here right now and I was speaking to that person, what do you think they would say? They would say something like, "That ain't my truth." Just because you say it, that don't make it true. They would say all those same type of shit. You're right. You're absolutely right. You wouldn't feel anything that I'm saying. You wouldn't want to embrace that because there's a huge disparity in the vibration that what I'm saying versus the vibration of the crackhead.
I grew up in the projects, bro. So I seen a bunch of crackheads, wet heads.
I'm from the projects too.
You can try to talk to them. My mom was the biggest case of trying to talk to a lot of people and letting people stay in her house and stuff like that. And they always went. Not always, but most of them just enjoyed their life and went back.
Not even just in the projects, even in the conversations that we have. Being that people are on different levels of vibration, different levels of intelligence, you will see if you listen to these conversations, other people can't accept the things that other people say in many instances because they may not be on that frequency. You know what I'm saying? But it's not right or wrong. It's a frequency thing.
Like the only frequency thing I wanted to get on vibe with you was to change it from the law of attraction. Like I was changing it to the law of Thai attraction just because my name's Thai. Making it personal. Like I know, like for me, I like to be able to pinpoint and say I got it from here and there. But I just been on this new thing where I'm going off my intuition purely, even if I make up words and people don't understand them. And like, all right, when I write the book, it'll have a thesaurus in the back or a bibliography, whatever it is. I'm high right now. But yeah, y'all gonna understand what I mean later when I step down and stop and get into another flow and look back on what I'm doing right now. Because if I keep trying to explain everything I'm trying to do, I'm going to be lost in the sauce on, not lost, because then I guess I'm in that point in the book, I had to convince myself again by doing whatever I had to do. But I want to be on to the next picture. But I'm grateful for it all. I'm grateful for all the experiences.
Yeah, saying that you're the master is saying that you know everything that's going to ever happen, which is going to say you have no experience left to do, which gives you back to your logical point that you made earlier. Like, so we're here to forget. We're here to remember. Like this is part of it, and discounting a billionaire or a crackhead because of material worth or their availability to purchase or potentially purchase material things, that's great, but that's that perspective. And you are right, when you throw a rock into a crowd, the only one who yells is the one who got hit.
God damn it.
Can you give me a reference point for where master means knowing everything? Because I just put it up right now. A man who has people working for him, especially service to slaves. A man in charge of an organization, having or showing very great skill or proficiency. Main principle: acquire knowledge, accomplishment. From what I'm seeing, I don't see anyone saying that master means you know everything. If it means complete knowledge, it means complete knowledge in a specific discipline, not complete knowledge of everything of life. You're a master of a discipline or a situation, not master of life. So I think you're taking the term of master and projecting meaning onto it that I'm not trying to imply.
And I think
you just read the definition and then you capped it. That's just like gravity. Reading the book on gravity. If you read the book on gravity, they'll say that gravity is formally infinite. We had to put these equations in place because our numbers are infinite. We don't know what to do with the infinity, so we have to put a cap on it. Well, I'm telling you from my heart, from my experience, that no matter what you say about the law of attraction, the world's going to keep going about how it is. And no matter how many eggs you try to break, you're actually doing more of a disservice to the community than helping them. So we have to live these things, not come into a community and say,
how am I
you're
doing a
bad, you're
disservice?
doing this, you guys are being negative. You're it's in the form of it. If it's serving
in
the
culture of the
community,
law of attraction.
if it's serving yourself, or if is it serving community, and is the community really perfect right now, or does it need to be changed? Like, these are, theories, or things that we can think about, ideas, but it does influence our emotions, and it influences the things that we say. So we should be mindful, if we believe in something, about how we actually carry ourselves and the things that we do say.
So I disagree with what you're saying. I think what you're saying leads to disease and sickness. I think that's a sickness, what you just said. Like, for example, if you look at the body, what happens if there's a negativity in the body and you don't address it, you don't speak to it, and you ignore it? That's how disease comes. That's how illness comes. Same thing in a relationship, same thing in the community, same thing everywhere in life. If there is something negative, it's not to be avoided and ignored for someone's sensitive feelings so they don't get hurt. It's to be addressed so growth can happen, so healing can happen, because that's the point, is expansion.
And let's
if
address
there
it,
isn't
because if
something
you see
negative and you
something
don't address
negative,
it,
if you see something negative in what I'm saying, this should address the whole perception of what you've been talking about in the law of attraction. You're seeing something negative, which is somehow you're attracting it into your life. You're saying it's a negative thing. We'll sit here and face it. Like, this is here. This is not like it's always going to be here. This is what I'm saying. The duality, and I think this is what Tai's saying too. Like, the duality, the potentials are always going to be there, and we are fractal forms of this potential form, co-creator, co-writers of this existence. Call it whatever you want, and we can make it that's the I imagination. How you see the thing is how they will appear to you. True saw, he calls it the gooey place or whatever. He saw this weird, like, if he said if we saw it, we'd fucking probably flip out. Like, we can talk about our experiences, our dark, our light. We can put them all on the table, and I'm sure that if we all did this together, that we soon take back our own things, because we don't know how to deal with somebody else's stuff the way that they do. You look at and be, oh, that's insurmountable. Ozo got fucking eaten by an anaconda or something on one of the ships. I was like, holy shit. People, I think you live a certain life and you have a certain, like, frequency, rhythm, cadence, a certain banter, the way you talk, a certain tonality. And that's your light.
Yeah.
That's your part of the source energy, because we are all that source energy. But there's that duality between us, the bipolar, the male, female, the up, down, left, right, north, south, fucking good, bad, positive, negative. And positive and negative are not good and bad, right? We need the negative ions in our body, just like when the rainstorm comes through. Negative ions pushed at the front, and you feel like a shower. That's what you feel in the bath. That's what you feel when you walk barefoot. But
I would say, to what you're saying, I think that is just your perception of me, in my opinion. So from my perception,
yes,
I'm not coming to the conversation exclusively saying, look, guys, this is negative. This is negative. I justify why I take my approach that I do in many instances because of something that's negative. If you listen to what I say, the entirety of what I say, they're going to be saying I'm dropping jewels. I'm dropping things that are valuable. I'm dropping things that will enhance you. I'm dropping things that will help you to grow. So if when I say something is negative, it's just at one point, just me expressing why I'm doing what I'm doing. If you listen to what I say, ultimately, the majority of what I say is not negative. So that's what I find funny about what you're saying. You're saying that to someone that the majority of what they say is positive and uplifting. For you to point, for now, if I say the word negative, and you home in on that, and it makes it seem like that's my overall message, or that's what I'm focusing on. And I would say that's what I found flawed in your argument, from my opinion.
I'll bring it together. I was thinking because I see the militant and I see the flow and the guidance. And I mean by militant is the guiding of the mind and direction of it's going to get somewhere because the mind is going to get somewhere and it's going to want to create something that's comfortable for itself where it don't feel like it gotta just survive anymore, but actually live, like be able to just frolic around. Everybody don't like flowers, but run around the streets, ride pop 4 wheelers, do whatever you want to do, and and I think it does come. Let me put this blunt down. It does come with point knowing, seeing what's negative for your own spirituality, which is like your own individuality, but with working with the shell that we have, the ego, and how, like what Exile was saying, how we pronounce things, how we come off to other reflections and stuff really matters a lot. And not just saying, and I'm just talking from my perspective too, because then I was in the field too where all I was trying to say was just positive things and just not think negative things. I had stopped listening to rap music. I said, I don't want to listen to rap music because all they saying is blah, 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 fuck this, or I got this and that and that. But then, and then I was just listening, trying to listen to like soft indie music or just straight electronic music sometimes, and then I found myself being sad. And I was getting into matters of the heart and feeling like I wasn't worth things or people was getting a hand over on me. It was like it was still all the experiences, like I said, when they pop up, you talk the truth. Sometimes I pop on the show and I can't even have anybody like on the Discord because I just got to say all this stuff real quick. I got to say what I got to say and I'm out and stuff like that. And I got a family here. I got a daughter, a girlfriend, and then she got a daughter and her sister, her daughter here and stuff. And we doing this all on our own. So us coming from different backgrounds, we constantly was battling it out, trying to say, well, you're negative, you're thinking negative about me because of how I grew up. Oh no, I'm just pointing up how you grew up because it matters now, and we can do this and that, and all this thinking and intellect getting in trying to figure things out, honestly, even if it was the point of yelling or fighting, literally like, yeah, get the fuck out of my house and stuff like that. And it was because I'm just trying to help you, like, well, you ain't fucking listen. And then in the moment and the overall totality of the world, that was the moment that needed to be created for that shift to happen. But as a result of that is that I'd go with it, not trying to recreate that again and say, yeah, I was just how the mushroom and how I be dealing with myself. It be like, yeah, I did told them and stuff. Be like, yeah, I'm glad I got that, how I was feeling out in the back of my mind, that anger I was dealing with, that moment. Like, I really was feeling all those bad things. Like, that was me. And I said it. I let it out. And then afterwards, it's like, now I see what's there in me so I can work with it. It's not something that I'm constantly holding back. Like, oh, don't let me hold back the beast. It's like, I'm one with the beast.
Hey, Exile, do you have a girlfriend?
Why does that matter?
Okay, if you don't want to answer the question, I'll just proceed forward anyway. So if someone had a girlfriend and she came to you and said, "There's something that you're doing that I view as negative," if a guy responded, "Well, maybe that negativity is just all in your consciousness. It has nothing to do with me." That motherfucker ain't got no girlfriend. He ain't got no game. You in a bad state. That's not gonna work. And that's not gonna work in real life. You can't. You see what I'm saying? That's why I asked that question. If you would take that perspective, I would wonder, would you take that same perspective in a relationship? And I think a relationship is an example where that thinking doesn't stand out. Like, no, you have to address negative things. And it's not just that the negativity is just in your girlfriend's mind. It might be something you're doing where you're fucking up. And you could say, well, maybe that negativity is just in your own mind. It may be you ignoring the flaws that you have in the way that you're hurting this person. That also might be a possibility, and that she's right as hell and pointing out something that you could use improvement. That could be a possibility as well.
It's also a possibility on the level of relationship you have with that person. And if they need to come to you and say that something is negative, or it's just a way that they're acting, then you know.
Do you have a girlfriend, or are you speaking hypothetically?
the universe usually whispers to you until she has to
What's the
yell at you.
difference? Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we take things negatively. Like with my girl, I know sometimes I'll take things that she say negatively just because the way she say it, and I have to start coming to my senses and going, oh, this is just the way she talks.
Yeah, that was a big chapter in my life.
Yeah.
Hey, True.
What's up with it?
What's up, True?
Howdy.
Oh, nothing. Just listening, man.
Hey.
Just listening, man.
But yeah, Exile was saying that when I point out in the conversations, if we're talking, that if I hear something negative, that maybe that negativity is just in my own mind. So I use that example to draw an analogy towards would that work in a relationship with a girl. If your girl comes to you and says something you're doing is negative from her perspective, could you tell her, respond to her? Maybe that negativity is just all in your own mind. And I just wanted to prove how funny that is in that context. That wouldn't work. Like, no, you
Yeah,
actually.
sometimes it is funny, but sometimes it do be that because I like me in the mirror of myself. That's what I just said. It's like, a lot of things, like it took me a minute to get over just the way that she even talks. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
every
just
man in
saying
the world. Every
anything.
man in every
It's like,
relationship feel that way.
you know how you come and you be like, you want some soda? No. Do you want
Like, I
this?
was.
No. Can you just pick that up? And you will start taking it as like, damn, why you always why you always talking like that? Like, why you got to be so negative? And it's like, no, she's not being negative. That's just how she talks. And I
And
had to accept it.
game being a good significant other is not ignoring what she feels is negative about you, but being able to address it in a positive way, in a non-confrontational way, not dismissing
Yeah.
it, not shutting down, not coming up with some bullshit excuse that means nothing, but actually being able to deal with it in a mature adult way. That
And
it
that's
doesn't
like
have to be
basically
a
all you
negative
can
thing,
do. Yeah,
right?
it don't.
For some
But
people,
like,
they shut down, or
I
some
was
people they
making it a
become
negative
confrontational and
thing,
fight.
though.
Or
I was,
me,
and
no,
it's crazy because, and then like once you make it a negative thing, you begin to build upon that.
right.
You add to it, so it begins like everything they start doing become a negative thing.
Well,
You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
I started
did
seeing
you
the
see
genie
what?
in my mind that was making that possible. And I was like, yo,
Yeah,
Did you
I'm
yeah,
aware
see?
of that
man.
algorithm.
You might have missed. I mean, so what I did is I asked you exactly what you're asking me. You asked me a question. I asked, well, how does that matter? You're looking for a specific. You've got an intention, and you're not going to say what you want to say. So I'm going to find out what you want to say by asking you questions. Like, this is conversation. You're not immediately like. Do you understand,
Yeah,
Walker?
that's fine. Yeah, I don't communicate that way, but I do understand people who do that way. That some people that are like that. Yeah, I'm aware.
Well,
That's
somebody
not how I
or
come at it.
somebody says that if somebody's sentence is you're doing something that I think is negative and I need you to stop it. Well, that's a pretty broad statement. You need to get more information. Like, so
Yeah, help
why
the
did that come
person that's
about? Why do
alongside.
you think that?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think there's more? It's more than just face value. There's deeper waters.
Every time I've used negative in regards to a conversation here, number one, I never ask anyone to stop doing anything, and number two, I just try to add stuff that improves upon it. So I don't think I fall into what you're talking about.
No, it was funny because I heard y'all talking about the crackhead and the millionaire.
Yeah.
What about the millionaire crackhead? Did nobody say
he
nothing
he
about
ain't gonna
that?
stay that way. He ain't gonna keep that million. He ain't
Shit,
gonna
Well,
keep
it's
it
a
no, we
long.
don't know
gang.
that.
Well, what's his name that played Iron Man? Well, it's a gang of them motherfuckers that's right now in
Nah, he got
Hollywood that got
Cuba,
millions
what's
that
the fuck?
snort coke
Robert Downey
every
Jr.
day. Yeah, they
Robert Downey
snort coke
Jr.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like
he on
it's a
some
gang of
coke.
millionaire
Nah,
crackheads.
he changed his life,
Uh,
man. He did Iron Man, and he changed his life with Iron
No.
Man.
Yeah, he got more money for more white snow.
yeah, for more snow. And it's like it's a lot of them that's like that. I say it all the time, like Mozzie coming in the game, and the more money, it's just the more drugs you gonna buy.
That's how. Yep. And if you don't have money, then eventually you just get
Start stealing.
Yeah, you start stealing, get shot or something, then change your ways once you get hurt.
Yeah, but like I don't know. I think I'm starting to understand that. Like I was told, like on my journey the other day, it's enough. It's enough room in the universe for everybody's thoughts. So
Mm-hmm.
if you pleased with being a crackhead, that's okay. It's not bothering me. That's you. Now you if I can't you and then like I think about even helping people because you want to help people. I hear what you're saying, like you want to say things in order to help people, but first you got to understand the people that you're talking to and what type of help they need, because your help might not be the help that they need. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we'll be saying things, it's like, I'm trying to help you, and it's like, well, what if I don't want that shit? What if I want this kind of help? What if I just want some money to go buy some more crack?
That's another thing
Yep.
that's another thing I try to bring to the conversation is that for people to have a debate
Yeah.
and to debate back and forth, you have to be on a certain level, because a person that once a frequency happens that is above them, they're gonna reject it. They're gonna see it as confrontational. They're gonna say, "Oh my God, that's negative," and they're gonna run. So
But
part
that's
of
the thing. Nobody's frequency is above nobody. Everybody is vibrating off the same frequency.
no
See,
people
I think we all vibrating off the same frequency. That's
we're
the
not
that's the
vibrating
thing.
at the same frequency. We're not vibrating
We
at the same
we
frequency.
actually are. That's how come we can see each other. The ones that are vibrating at a higher frequency, we can't see them. They exist in them other dimensions we go and see. We hear
We
everybody's
here.
here is vibrating. Everybody here is vibrating. Everything here is vibrating at the same frequency. None of it higher or lower than the other. We
Right,
just
that's different.
determine that. That's
That's
that's when
that's
we get like we determine what we feel, is better and worse and all these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make,
Uh-huh.
is that I'm
Yeah.
not saying the crackhead is bad. I'm just saying if you're interested in getting some money, then talk to me. That's what I'm saying. I ain't saying,
And
see, a
and I
crackhead, if that's the level
hey
you
for
on,
real.
do that.
Hey for real.
Not have a
For real.
girlfriend if that's the level you on. If you want a girlfriend
Hey
and
for
you want
real.
the money,
Hey,
let me talk to you.
and let
That's
me
what I'm
tell
saying.
and look, and if I'm a crackhead, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna get the girlfriend. I'm gonna get the money. And then next time when you come around, me and the girlfriend gonna be smoking crack. Hey, we both gonna be on it. That's the crazy thing about it. Just and
Mm-hmm.
like I seen so many people on drugs, and you try to help, and it's like, man, it don't. Some people just want what they want. Like homeless people, a lot of homeless people ain't trying to just get no apartment or live in no house or have no job. They okay with being homeless. A lot of them is okay with a lot. Like, and it's enough room in this universe for everybody to have their own universe inside them and be what they want to be. We just
And
chose to
that's
do it by society standards. We chose to go, okay, rich is something good.
Which is,
Everything that we taught comes from the so-called white man we always talk about.
you
None
know what's
of
so
it.
deep though? What's so deep is like, take Jesus.
Hey,
Jesus got killed for that same reason of trying to help other people. That's a metaphor. If you are the person that goes and try to help people, you will get killed. That's a
You
fact.
will get killed.
If
Well,
you're
hey,
in the
but
hood, you
I always
cannot be
thought
going to
about
talk to
that.
people on some intelligent shit. Go ahead.
You can, but it probably won't work. But I'm just
N-
saying, I always thought about how come Jesus never tried to get no money from nowhere. You ever think about that? I said this nigga never asked for a dollar.
He was getting donations. You know, if you
I don't
getting
think he was that
donations, you don't
organized
need no
yet.
job. You don't need no
Yeah.
job. You getting donations.
He probably is a
You bringing people back to
freelancer.
hey, true. If you bringing
Huh.
people back to life, you're gonna get some serious donations.
Oh shit, yeah, you is. But Jesus never even worried about money or none of that shit, man. I was just watching. What's the one white lady who be talking about? about the things that white people did to black people and how they be acting. I just seen another video on her, and she was saying that same shit. She said we running off today's society. Everything that you know right now was taught to you by a white man. The white man went and conquered it. The white man went and did this, and they told you this is what it is, and you said, "Oh, this is what it is. Money is what it is. This is what that." And it's like, all this shit is the same shit that was just given to us by somebody else, and we took it and we said, "Okay, this is what works for us because this is what it is right now." And it's like but in actuality, it really ain't. It's just we chose to accept it.
That's right.
What
I'm
we
not
accept is
accepting
what
it
we
no
see.
more. Yeah, I said I'm not accepting it no more. Man, when I was on my trip, man, I told God, I told the devil, I told both them niggas, fuck y'all. Y'all fight is not my fight. You trying to tell me I'm sitting up here going through this shit because some shit y'all got going on? Like that's what you basically telling me, right? Ain't that some shit? Ain't that why you move out the hood?
You gotta be
because these niggas is smoking and you don't want to be part of it. So you just move out. And I was like, I said, man, I don't even want to talk about God and the devil no more. That's their business. And what they got going on, it really ain't got shit to do with me. On that level of what they're trying to, the way they're teaching it to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
The way they teach it to us.
Because the God and devil is your business. Because
It's like
there's a God there's a God inside of you and there's a devil inside of you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying like, the way Christianity throw it to us, like,
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
you got to believe in God and you got to follow God because he's helping us and the devil is doing this. And then, it's like, what the fuck? Like, that ain't even my fight. Like, you mean to tell me, like, you trying to tell me that God let Just High go through all this shit because his partner that he created, the devil, is doing it all. And what he's going to do is he's going to sit back and he's going to let the devil torture Ty his whole life. And then in the end, if Ty just believe in God and believe in Jesus,
it will be
okay.
over. Amen.
Off with his head. Not in this life.
Think about Jesus. Think about this. Jesus shows up and says, "I can save you all," and then leaves and said, "I'm gonna come back later and really save you." Come on, imagine you calling 911 and the police come and just show up and stick their head in the door and leave and be like, "I'll be back in 5 years." Like, what the fuck?
That's what they think.
Hey, that's the real shit. Because my boy said he said,
coming back? What the fuck?
Hey, something happened with his girl. He had to take her to the hospital, right? He said, so I took her to the hospital. When we get there, the hospital wouldn't let her in. They said, oh, okay, woo. Heard what she had to say. They took a COVID test and told her, go home. If you get a phone call, that means you ain't got COVID. I mean, that means you got COVID. If you don't give the phone call, that means you don't got it. She said, I didn't even come here for that. I came here because my toe got cut off.
Damn.
I can't.
So like it's like I came
up.
here for something else, but then you hit me with this, and you just tested me and sent me away. And it's like I wasn't even here for a COVID test. It's like, nigga, my foot is about to fall all the way off. Well, if you ain't got
her toe might could have had COVID.
Yeah, it's kind of man, this shit freaky, man. I don't get life sometimes, but I get it at the same time because I see that we create our own beliefs as we go, and we get to choose what beliefs we want. If it sounds acceptable to you, you get to choose it. Now you can say yourself is right, but I guarantee you on the other side of the planet, somebody else is thinking the total opposite.
For real.
And that's what
the beauty of living on this rock.
Yeah, on the rock. On the
That's
rock.
flying through damn space. That shit's crazy. Who's out there on a stone?
But the problem with what you said, there's a study that says, I think it's from Harvard actually, that the higher a person's intelligence, the less they like other people. They statistically measured this in studies. The more intelligent you are, the less you enjoy being around other people for the same reason that you just said.
That's true.
That's so that's a problem.
There's an
I wouldn't
intelligence
doubt it.
quotient and an emotional quotient as well.
My girl was trying to,
and a
she was trying
spiritual
to go to,
quotient.
hey, that's
Sure.
true. She was trying to go down, you know, we
Yeah.
wanted to go out of town, visit family. You know, like, let's go to Fresno and spend Thanksgiving with family, bro. I'm to the point, I don't even want to be around people. I just want to be around my kids.
But see, True is the opposite of me. That's what I found so interesting about True. I think we like exact opposites, which is why I think we should like come together as a team. Because I piss someone off and then you calm them down, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like it's perfect balance. You know what I'm saying?
We is a team, bro. We all a team. That's why we doing this, bro. We'll have the times where we won't see eye to eye, but that ain't gonna stop us from being brothers.
Right.
Never.
It's not gonna never stop nothing. It's not gonna stop the love that I have for everybody.
Facts.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
That's all it is. Because all I want is a good story.
Yeah, it's not gonna stop none of that. So yeah, it's not gonna stop none of that, man. It's just giving us different ways of seeing things, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I don't mean between me and you. I mean between other people is what I mean. Like just our energy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Between everybody, and that's why we sit down and we have these conversations. And some of us is gonna seem smarter than others. That's okay. When we die, we all going to the same place.
When you're first learning to tie your shoes, that shit look crazy as fuck.
What did you do? Everyone's challenging in their own way.
Yeah, that's the hardest shit ever I think I had in my life was tying my shoes. Y'all remember how hard that shit was at first?
With the rabbit
that shit
in the
was
tree?
Hard as hell.
Did you guys learn with the rabbit in the tree?
I forgot. That was so long ago. That was 40 years ago.
Hey, I even want lacy shoes. I wanted the Velcro ones, so it was just easy. I was like, man, fuck this tying up shoes. This shit way too hard. I just want to Velcro my shit.
Hey, stick them motherfuckers right tips off and stick them in the sides.
Yep.
I ain't tying nothing. But I think it's enough room in this. It might not be enough room on this planet for everybody just to live, but it's enough space in the universe for us to have everybody to have their own thoughts.
It really is. The code is unlimited. Just keep on shaping it around. Y'all got unlimited data.
That's what's crazy, and everybody is just building their own uni.
Yeah.
First around themselves.
That's what I've been being pushed into. Not pushed into. That's what I just see my my story going through. Like, oh, the character is being thrown into this world where he now needs to create for other people to be able to create. And I'm like, that's all. Yeah. That's what I be doing in the other realms. Like, all I fantasize about is creating things, creating stories and worlds and things like that. So all of this is just the art. Yeah, that's all.
Pass it to your kids and show them
and see what they do with it.
There's only two ways to live life, and that's either narration or imitation.
Thinking or doing.
Wait, hold on, y'all.
Both at the same time.
So if you're not creating, then you're imitating.
And sometimes we gotta get in that zone in order to learn, though. Imitate.
True.
Fake it till you make it. Or learn the skill, like be underneath the smith. And then snap back. I know it felt like that a lot for me, like me listening to Terrence McKenna a lot and all these other people. It was like I was snapping to some of their personalities sometimes because I was listening to them so much. And and then I'll have an experience where all that stuff I was listening to would correlate to my experience, and I'll have my experience and then be like, oh, all right. Back to not even back, because it's still me. It's just that Terrence McKenna, yeah, that was a figment of my imagination, even if he wants to appear as real. And with a history that I can Google. Like, I think like reality is always being recreated right in front of our eyes as we go along. Like history, talking, words, actions, breath. It's all made up right in front of us as we go. But it's just so intense, and this game is just so lovable because we got so many interactions going on, so many stories colliding that started from different pinpoints in reality. So I'm gonna start this off there. Let's throw that off there. Let's take that dot right there. Fling that off there. Then soon they're gonna start orbiting around each other, like how they like the chaoticness of how scientists look at the universe and star nebulas and how stars are born and supernovas. It is chaotic. Things is always changing and moving around and being birthed. And those stars is like birthed to hundreds of planets, and then they all get sucked into a black hole, the super massive black hole at the center that they say is on probably at every galaxy. So it's like, dang, beginning, end, nothing, creation, thoughts is awesome. And that's what we're doing now. That's what all the ancients, if y'all listen, I did title this spiritual talk, so some new people probably find this video, hopefully. But that's what the ancients was all talking about, the as above, so below. How do all them ancient stories correlate to what's going on right in front of your face? Like right now, we was having an awesome conversation. This is the most holy of holies right now. And that's the type level we on, and that's the type level we all on. But if you don't acknowledge it, then that's not what you want. If the thought don't come to you. And so with all the stuff that y'all heard on the channel, we've been talking about being negative or not really speaking the truth, but speaking the truth and helping people along the way is going to be a huge balance game that's going to play out to your reality. And all we can do is take everything with a grain of salt. All right, and just see how it plays out. And sometimes if you do imitate, hey, just remember sometimes a little microdose and knock that right out of you. Right back on track. So, yeah. If anybody else have any closing words, I'm gonna go get some food.
The decahedron.
Bang, let that ring through your consciousness.
Yeah, and I'll add on top of that, a great way to memorize something is to visualize the shape he just said, and visualize whatever you want to remember inside of that shape inside your mind. And when you can see that inside the shape in your mind, you will never forget it. It'll stick with you. It's a memory technique to help you remember stuff.
Man, you know what kind of meme tried to take advantage of that? It was Obama Don or son. They put Obama. I just saw it yesterday on a dodecahedron. It was as a joke. But yeah, I was just trying to practice it, but I saw Obama. But I'm gonna put that to work and let you know what happens. Ron Water Walker.
But yeah, man, good build, man. Good build.
Yeah, this was sweet. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully you come by next time.
For sure.
All right. And Wild Man Ninja, thanks for coming by. True Life Stories. Rape the Matrix. It's been a while, bro. I'm gonna hit you up.
All right, bro.
Are you still there? Yeah. And Exile 13. I'm here, Rape.
Yeah, hit me up anytime, bro.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, check out Exile artwork, the pyramid. It's the video right before this, or justtinow.com. Check out his artwork. Get dope, get hip, get Tairific. We all Thai, but do we really Thai? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. But hey, that's all right. I'm still gonna eat.